Hi everybody and welcome to the KTPF Community Show, live in the hub at www.ktpf.co.uk, the online paranormal talk show brought to you in association with the UK Shadow Seekers and the Keeping the Paranormal Friendly community. Good evening, my name's Suzanne.
Yeah, and I'm Steve.
And welcome to the show. Established since 2007, the KTPF is a dedicated, ongoing community which is not just there for when you're experiencing animosity from others. We welcome every paranormal investigator and enthusiast alike, including hobbyists, scientists and psychic mediums from around the globe, to join in as we cover this vast, fascinating subject, encouraging you to share information, advice and most importantly friendship. Remember, collaboration, not competition.
Talk Radio.
You hear us, we hear you.
Good evening ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Wednesday evening in the hub at the K2PF Community Radio Talk Show. Well, Community Talk Show, not exactly a radio, is it really? So, nice to see you all.
Yes.
Yes. Nice to see you all nice and brightly early and brightly early in the hub. Well, it's 14.
They're definitely bright.
It's going to be one of them days.
Yeah, all the colours are coming in.
It's going to be one of them nights. Well, God, that dog's making so much racket tonight. So basically, tonight, what we're doing is it's going to be a free-for-all. And Neil's in the middle.
Yeah, Neil's in the firing line.
Because as you may remember, if you was on last week, Neil put himself up for a challenge. Didn't you, Neil?
I did.
What did you say, Neil?
They can ask anything. As long as it's paranormal. As long as it's paranormal. It's got to be paranormal.
As long as it's paranormal?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Nothing to do with Nile crocodiles.
Okay.
Although if you want to know about Nile crocodiles, not a problem.
Okay.
But
right.
I won't go down that road.
Okay, well, Grainley said the
physiology of the Nile crocodile.
Please. So,
okay,
so
you asked for it.
Whilst Neil's getting himself comfortable for the evening's activities, which could be anything, I'm just going to say hello to everyone that's in the hub at the moment. If I can see who's in the hub, I think that's Chris L, because all I can see is very dark blue.
Do you want me to do it then?
Yeah, you do it, Steve.
Okay, we have Chris L, who came in earlier. He's been in quite a while. Mm-hmm. We have Ghost Rider, that's our John down there in Norfolk.
JW.
Yeah, Mr. JW. We have Leanne, Aggie. Aggie's coming. Charlotte, there's Green Lee. Simply Joe, and I'm sure Debbie will be there somewhere because she's not normally.
No, and I'm sure Helen will be there somewhere.
Yes, I'm sure they will.
So, well, it says we've got 14 viewers, so some of you may not be in the chat room.
That's a good start.
Yeah. So if you're, it's a bit weird. Can they? Yeah, they can see the chat room as well as viewing, can't they? Really? Yeah. They probably look at what you lot are writing and think, what the hell?
No, I'm staying out of that.
Staying out of that. So
apparently Deb's is logging in now.
Is she? Right, well...
I don't know why everybody decides to log in. Because you don't need to.
Well, I must admit,
it's nice of them, but they don't need to.
It's like something I put on our team page today when we was introducing one of our new team members. That basically it's the world of crazy or something I wrote, didn't I? Let me just double check, see how I actually put it. Be prepared, you're about to enter the madness. Don't worry, you don't have to be crazy to be here, but we'll train you. Sounds good, doesn't it?
And he came back and said, I don't need much training in crazy, I'm already nuts. Yeah. Apparently Helen is just finishing off the listing of books, and then she'll be on here.
Oh, the listing of books. I wonder whose books they are.
I don't know, you see them every so often on Facebook.
Oh, right.
She comes up and said, I've just listed this one.
Well, it's something we could do. We could do a book review in one of our sites.
Yes, I would like to start something this evening, please. So I think that's rather important.
We are married, and I know we normally start things, and I don't want any arguments. So if you're going to start, go on.
No, I picked it.
I'm in the middle here.
That's why I want to start. No, help!
Go on.
No, I picked up on a news feed earlier this week. A bunch of teenage ghost hunters, as they call them in America. Basically, they're still at school, these people. That's from 14 to 21. They did, by the sounds of it, what would be a lovely old building. Unfortunately, they didn't get permission. So they all got arrested for trespass. So it's a very important point, guys, that anybody out there that's thinking of doing this, always get permission from the owners of the building.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
And if you are going out there just on a bit of a whim and, not exactly a professional thing, with a reputed group or anything like that, please make sure you tell somebody where you're going as well. That's the most important thing, because if anything was to happen to you, if you're in a dark old cemetery and they've decided to prepare a hole for somebody and you fall down it and break your leg.
Always carry a whistle, and a compass.
And never go alone.
Take compass with you as well.
Why compass?
And a little boiling stove as well. Don't forget your boiling stove. And a little pan to put water in.
Where are you going?
Well, just in case you get stuck.
Excuse me, we're not going over orienteering here.
Take some dextrose tablets to keep you going through the night.
Well, Joe said that nearly happened to us at Skidbrook Church. Police turned up.
Yes, we had that high, didn't we?
Yes.
Police, dogs, everybody turned up. The security of the place, when they left one of the doors open, and the alarm was going off at the police station. They turned up with dogs and everything.
So can you imagine? You're in this group and you're going down to an area of the town hall, and all of a sudden, the police have turned up.
And dogs
barking, woof, woof, and whatever, and and you're like, ah! And that's what happened.
Yeah, but we was okay, because not only did we have the manager of the building with us, actually on the team at the time, but we did have permission.
Yes. To answer Charlotte's question earlier.
Yes, I do have a code.
Yes,
thanks for sharing that.
I've been.
Yes.
I've not been.
Thank you to
have you not seen my post on Facebook the other day?
No, I haven't. No.
Cat, so
yeah, I've not felt good for a couple of days.
No, he hasn't.
So I'll be sniffing even more now.
Coughing and spluttering and everything else.
Right.
Yes, and when I say cat, I don't mean meow type.
I actually slept in a different room last night because I didn't want to keep her up.
Yes, he
keep her awake.
Me.
I was coughing like a good one.
Probably is he didn't realise I took a sleeping tablet.
The other problem was that nor did she.
No, I didn't either. Oh, well, there's a name I've not heard of for ages. Burton Ghost. Chris Campbell Brown.
How you doing, me old mate?
Brown? Is it Campbell Brown? Brown Campbell. God, it's been that long.
And he's good lady. Can't remember what her name was. Tracy, that's it.
How do I get Skype to work? I have never used it before. Thank you. I think I have worked.
I think he just got it.
Good evening, Chris. So, is this a yes to my question, by the way? Because I never got an answer. Chris, is this a yes?
And
because I did say to him, you can speak to us on the 6th if you like, but he never came back and said yes or no or what for.
And we do need people to be giving us stuff for. I'll talk for
Neil,
Mr.
Yes.
Neil.
So
and sorry, Lee.
Well, we'll get the questions going.
No, crocodile is not what we're after tonight.
What, the Crocodilius niloticus, I think it's called.
That's the one. Yes.
Yeah, it's the only crocodile that can hold its breath for 2 hours, as long as it's not active. But can only dive for 2 minutes. Quite a funny thing. It's the only crocodile actually.
It's a bit strange.
It's the only crocodile actually that will use a tool to eat its food. It will actually bash its food against a rock. Other crocodiles don't. They'll just
spin and rip
around. Yeah, it's the only thing that would use a tool. So
there you go, Lee.
So just a bit of information.
That's just a little bit on the Nile crocodile there for you.
Okay. Well, basically, let me just tell you what we're having done tonight. Yeah, I've just found Chris on Skype. So what we're doing in about 10-15 minutes, we'll give him a ring, and he can talk to us and tell us about his body system. Okay. So.
Oh, so you don't need me now then?
I do need you. It's just that Chris never got back to me to say yes, no, or what for.
Well, get in the queue. There's a queue system. There is a queue in this procedure.
Right,
Neil, crystals. What do you know about them?
Hang up, we're not on crystals yet?
No, that's the question that's come through.
That's not the first question.
What was the first
I
question?
was about to go to it.
Did I miss one?
Well, I can't see now.
I saw Bear Grylls.
Right, but what I'll do is I will go to the first question first, and we'll speak to Chris in
What
a while.
about crystals?
Go on then.
No, forget the crystals.
Oh,
Chris Lee wants to know,
yes.
what's our guys' thoughts on the end of the world predictions that's all over the internet for the 21st of this month?
Absolutely load of crock.
I hope not.
Back to crock.
Would that be Noel Croc?
See the fun there?
Excuse me. Okay, first of all, can I just say, nobody told me about the 21st of this month.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, we are 1 year old
Mm-hmm.
on that day. So no, nothing like that is going to happen. The end of KTPF is not going to happen.
As our friend in Romania said, fire? What fire? Little heat? No fire.
Yes. So, which brings me to something that was mentioned a while ago about having a party for chatters that was suggested by Simply Joe. So, it's the 21st of March. That's when we're a year old. If you want to consider getting together somewhere, whatever, we can do a Skype party if you wish. All cameras on. Okay.
Yeah.
And
That's is a good question, Nigel, but I'm not sure any of us here could answer it.
are you going into questions already?
Well, it's just come up and I just looked at it.
So basically, you know,
What is supposed to happen on the 21st of this month? Do we know?
no,
Oh,
I haven't got a clue.
It's supposed to be another end of the world jibe.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Supposed to be.
Oh,
No, come on.
Yeah, I'll be colliding with anything, or is everything just going to stop?
Right.
We could be hit by a great big massive meteor again.
Or is it? Or is this the?
Oh,
Now, I think this is the sun one, isn't it?
well, I could get run over by a bus tomorrow and the whole world would stop then, wouldn't
Apparently,
it? You know?
it's the Ascension.
The Ascension.
So,
No.
but anyway, before we get into the questions, I need to finish off my start talk. Okay. Steve's getting. I don't know why he's getting ahead of himself. Right, we've got no observations today because there wasn't many,
Woohoo!
and most of them that were out there were a load of rubbish, really. Apart from what I'd missed, I believe was the 21st. So I don't think there is anything else there. We'll have a quick check in a moment. But from what I can see, it's all about Whitney Houston's haunted mansions up for sale. But most of these come through and they seem to be a bit out of date. So there is a psychic source that launches a campaign against psychic scams. Now, I don't know what your thoughts on that are, Neil, to be honest with you.
Psychic source?
A psychic source?
You're talking about like HP source or?
No, I think
Brown
they're talking
sauce
about
or-
something completely different. It could be sauce. Let me just have a look, see if I can find it.
Yeah, I'm down for a minute, guys.
Are you?
Yeah.
Have we lost you?
The plug wasn't in properly.
Oh, right, okay. So he's lost himself for a minute. Well, anyway, you can still talk to us anyway. But anyway, as I was saying,
I can, but I don't know what you're talking about.
we're going to have, you know, a little bit of the observations. Then we're going to have an impromptu talk with Chris because, as I say, he's come on to listen to us. Then we'll go to Neil with all his yes, no's and why fors. We're going to be a little bit late with Alison tonight because she's going to be running late from work. So, but let me just get back to this and let's see what we've got.
Ectoplasm, yeah, psychic source.
Right, well, let's have a look at this, shall we? Let's see what we've got here. This is coming today. It's from Longhorn, PA. So I don't know whether that means Philadelphia, I don't know. But anyway, anyone who consults a psychic has probably wondered at one point or another if is this real or is it a scam? Unfortunately, there are many scam artists out there who abuse the trust of the unsuspected public, offering expensive remedies to imaginary problems and threatening dire consequences if customers fail to pay. In a new campaign to educate its customers and the general public about psychic scams, Psychic Source, the most trusted psychic service for over 20 years, is alerting people to the most common types of scams and providing guidance on how to avoid falling prey to fraudulent psychics. And among the warning signs, according to the psychic source, are you ready for this, Neil? Are being asked to pay money for remedies. Okay. When your psychic has no online review or reputation, and if the only reviews are effusively glowing and written in perfectly grammatical sentences, so you got to watch for that as well. Often psychic scams involve scaring people into believing they're cursed and then demanding exorbitant fees to remove the curse. One way of doing this is the bloody egg trick. The what? Which involves switching a regular egg with an egg full of fake red blood, supposedly a bad omen or a sign that a person is in trouble. In contrast to the scare tactics and blood eggs of the tricksters and scammers, Psychic Source has over 300 authentic psychic advisors who have been verified through rigorous screening and interviews. What do you say about this, Neil? Sounds like a load of rubbish to me.
No, it's good to have a watchdog out there, you know.
Yeah.
But, talking about blood eggs, and that's more like down the voodoo route,
It is, isn't it?
Voodoo artists used to use blood eggs quite a lot. They'd tap an egg out and then they'd fill it with blood or chicken blood or something like that, and they would say, "Oh, it's going to bring you bad luck because it's turned into blood." That's an old sort of voodoo priestess trick. I can't confess I've never gone into a house before with a blood egg.
No, no. Weird, really
but
weird.
no, it's good to have a watchdog.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to for people to keep an eye on what we do.
But as I say, that's in
there should be a lot
America.
more out there, to be honest.
So there's a lot that happens in America, and there's not a lot of psychic stuff. Paranormal news that happens in England. So
talking about stuff like that. I wasn't going to mention this, but I will, because to be honest, I think they're a bunch of idiots. We heard of a group recently that went into somebody's house.
Oh yeah.
Supposedly cleansed it with crystals, and got rid of the spirit with the crystals. Wrapped the crystals in tin foil and threw them away.
Yes.
And that was supposed to have cleansed the house. And they said, "We'll leave it for a month now, then we'll come back with a medium."
Oh,
yeah.
right, okay.
Work that one out.
I mean, I know you can cleanse a house with crystals, but not from a spirit point of view. Let me just give a good energy and stuff. You know what I mean? You're meant to leave them in the house, not take them out and throw them away.
See, I'm not a believer in crystals.
I know you're not. No.
I mean, I know they do create energy and things like that, but it's how you handle it. It's your energy and how you get involved with that energy that makes the crystal work. But it's amateurs. Why wrap them in tinfoil? They're going to.
Well, I suppose that's to keep the evil spirit in the crystal so they can throw it away.
All right, okay.
But then again,
the whale's gone mad.
Yeah, a friend of ours actually went and got them.
And I bet they charge for that.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
They think they did. He thinks they did. The person who told me, but he's not. But he's not sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, the size of the crystals, they weren't. They were about 3 or 4 quid each. These crystals at least. So, but he went and got the crystals out the bin.
But it's the comment.
Yeah.
We'll come back with a medium later.
Oh,
why didn't they go with a medium in the first place?
In a month's time.
We'll give you a month of absolute chaos because we'll probably just put something in your house anyway.
Yeah. Nigel said it was crystal clean.
See, the other thing we also had once, didn't we? That we went to a woman's house. No word of a lie. And she said that she had a medium come to her and said to her that literally if you are bound to this spirit, you are the target, and you've got these psychic chains or something around you, wasn't it? And for me to break them, I'll come back and do it for you, but it's going to cost you X amount.
Okay.
Yeah, it was saying this evil spirit was chained to her, that she couldn't escape it.
Yeah.
But for a charge, he'd break the chains.
Oh, it's okay. So it's all.
I think that's wrong.
It's rubbish.
It's dramatisation.
It is.
And I mean, there's people out there who just don't understand, but you can tell the fakes.
Oh yeah.
Just by the comments that.
Yeah, I mean, this particular house, we went into it. And actually found it was a family member that was there, just looking over him, and it was ridiculous.
Honestly, crazy.
I don't know.
Charlotte said the tinfoil is wonderful. He's doubled it into the internet speed with it.
it on your head, you can talk to aliens as well.
No, if you put it
No,
on your head,
no,
it
that's-
actually protects you from people getting into your mind.
Oh, is that
That's
what it is?
yes, they can't read your mind with you've got tinfoil on.
I see. I had an email recently from a man in America. He may be listening, and he heard our last interview, and I don't think the world of America, the American world has actually met
Tony Topping yet. Although I'm sure they've got lots of people like Tony and worse over there.
But as I say, we love Tony Topping to bits, and we was also asked whether about our show being more scheduled and this, that and the other. But it's a chaos show and we love it, don't we? Don't you think? It's not structured, it's just what we're talking about. We're getting
It's fun.
it's fun.
It's fun.
We get the views over there, and we do have some great guests come on. Like Charlotte said, no gimmicks, no tinfoil hats, no crazy ideas. All we need is the will to change things, like Neil said. But you know what I mean? So it's a no-frills show, isn't it? So, and that's what it's about. We're just trying to get something out there for you to think about as well.
And when it comes to Tony, we always knew that once he gets started, you can't stop him.
Oh yeah,
He
this
just
is it.
keeps going.
I actually got worried because his sight went down, and I had to tell him. And I thought, oh my God, has his sight gone down, or has the Black Ops got him? At last? Wasn't quite sure.
The men in black interrupted him.
Interrupted his service and thought, that's it, you're not spreading the rumours anymore.
Somebody keeps messing with his Skype. It always seems to play up when he comes
Oh
on.
yeah, every time it's shushing around. I want him to come here. Steve wants him to come here, so when he goes or
While he's here, I can set up cameras outside and see if
whether
anybody's
he's
watching.
actually being watched. But we love them. We love all our guests, whether they come from this side of the continent or the other side. And we also like our listeners as well, and we've got quite a few in tonight. So be prepared for a fun show, because that's what we're going to get. Later on, as I said, we've got Alison Wynne-Ryder coming on via Skype, and she's going to do some readings, okay? She's going to read for me, Steve and Neil.
But if anybody else wants one, I will gladly step down. But
Yes.
you need to contact us through Skype
Precisely. Now, the thing is...
and do a conference because she does need to actually see you.
Yes. So, if possible, if you could if we can do a
Well,
conference call so that
she can get a better link if she can actually see the person she's reading.
Okay.
So, what we're going to
Which
do
is
is...
partly along the line
Yeah.
that you go. You need to be able to
It
see
is a
him.
general
But
read.
obviously, there's a distance here
She
still.
actually... She
No,
did
I don't.
actually...
Yeah,
I
but
don't have to see them. I have to be
Timmy.
next to them.
Yeah, well, the way...
well, she needs to
the way
see them to make a link.
Alison puts it to me is she likes to see people's eyes, because when she reads, she likes to look at them.
Oh.
Okay, so that's why she would rather see you than do it over the telephone.
Right.
Okay, and so if you are available by Skype, then and have a camera, then later on you could be able to have a reading. Okay, so if you want to put your name down for that, now this is going to be a regular thing, every 6 to 8 weeks. She's going to please,
It's disconnected.
please
It'll
to
come back
come
in a
on
minute.
for us. Okay, so now don't forget when it comes to buffing and everything with live stream, if it does flicker off, and it goes the same with us, please bear with us and we'll just reboot and
Tony.
refresh it and what have you.
Apparently, Tony said today on his FB that the media are going to make a major announcement tomorrow.
Oh,
No, it's top secret. He can't divulge. Apparently.
well, I do hope.
And I agree with Chris. If that's the case, damn.
I do
We want to
hope
know.
that when they do reveal it tomorrow, it's going to be a case of the bedroom tax has been scrapped, the petrol rises are going down.
Yeah, takes.
That's what I'm hoping, and maybe Conservative have decided to step down because they're making a wash of it.
And David Cameron's gone back to the planet he came from.
Yes.
And he's taken Nick Clegg with him.
So, but that would be good, wouldn't it? So, that's not nice, Reiki Debs. I won't repeat that because it goes out onto other people. So, but anyway, but we're not normally this chaotic on a Wednesday night. We normally have quite a few good people on and more scheduled and what have you. But tonight, because you've asked for a chaotic night, We're gonna get it.
And we're still waiting for suggestions.
Right, okay,
Come
well,
on.
we've had a few, but what we're going to do now is we're going to contact Chris while you're thinking.
Yeah, and like Neil just said, John, he's not really into crystals. It's not something he particularly believes in.
So we're going to put Chris on
What
in
I will
a moment.
say is keep it clean.
Okay.
What, the crystal?
Yes. No, the conversation.
The conversation.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to talk to Chris in a moment. I'll give him a quick ring, and please don't forget. Just a heads up. Next week we have a special. We have the great, well-known medium. Foremost is what I've been told as well. Mr. Derek Akora coming on the show.
Was he one of the
Well, not
foremost?
coming on the show.
Excuse me.
He's going on.
Was
Excuse me.
Was he one of the foremost?
Why give all that hype? What on earth is all that about?
Was he?
The great, fantastic, amazing, foremost.
That's what he's known as, isn't he? That's what he's known as.
I didn't know he was one of the foremost though.
Oh my dear.
No, I didn't. I was looking for stuff on him, and all of a sudden, somebody had called him. He was now named the foremost medium of the UK.
It's our Degsy at the end of the day.
It's our
Do you know what I
Degsy.
mean?
I think that comment went straight over her head then,
I think it did.
Yeah, it's our Dixie.
I think it did.
didn't it?
Yeah, but we've got our greatest here.
Hey, so did that comment go right over your head?
What's that?
I didn't know Derek was one of the foremost.
No. Yeah. Oh, I see. All right. go on.
Slow.
Yeah, 60s group. Anyway, let's get on to the subject at hand. Excuse my backside for a minute. Skype.
Nigel thought you was going to say Ben. What's his name was coming on.
No, that's on the 20th. That is. Ben What's It's coming on the 20th. When's next week? The 20th. No, next week.
He did do some really funny stuff on MH stuff. That really was funny. Some of the stuff he got up to. Joe was just
Right,
saying.
we're hoping this is working.
Joe was just saying she saw him at Brannigan's today. On a remote.
Okay, guys. Good evening.
Hello, Sue.
Hiya, Chris. How are you?
Not seen you for ages. How are you?
No, it's been a long time.
I know, it's been a couple of years, isn't it, since we've done the
Yeah.
Constitutional Club and everything.
I know, God. So we came down to see you. God, you had the Cause Museum, didn't you, back then? You had that
Yeah.
the old jail in Burton.
The Shubra Hall as well, and other places, the Grail Hotel, and I've just got Sinai now.
I thought you had it already.
I've kept Sinai on, yes.
Yeah.
It's kept me busy.
So
Be
you've
honest.
only got Sinai House now.
Yeah, I just got Sinai House now. It's all became quite a lot of stuff to do, really, with everything else. I've got all
Yeah.
the walks as well. I've got all those as well.
So, well, I hope everyone can hear him okay in the chat room, guys. So if you've got any questions, Chris, first of all, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Chris Campbell-Brown, and I set up a ghost walk in a place called Burton-on-Trent, which is about 10 miles south of Derby in the Midlands in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it. A ghost walk up in Burton-on-Trent, and also a place called Sinai House, which is around about 3 miles out of Burton-upon-Trent.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Still there?
yeah, I'm still here.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So, and basically, you're only dealing with Sinai House now.
I'm dealing with Sinai House now. Yeah, I had about 5 or 6 different venues, but it was getting a little bit too much. I've got 4 ghost walks in Burton as well.
Right. And how much are your ghost walks, and when do they happen?
Ghost walks in Burton-upon-Trent are about £10 per person, and then Sinai House is a location where we do psychic events, and we have a lot of paranormal teams visit us from different parts of the country. And that's really what the buddy system is about. It's about an idea I got from yourselves about keeping the paranormal friendly. I've noted over the years that a lot of the bigger groups have been coming in and been able to afford to come in, but the little groups haven't been able to afford to actually get in the venue.
This is it.
And the idea of the buddy system is actually get the groups to work together. So they do a paranormal event together and actually share the costs of actually doing that.
Yeah.
And via that, actually the groups can actually get to know each other and maybe go off and do other venues together when they make friends, etc. So it's sort of a win-win situation, really, whereby the venue has people coming to it, to be honest, the paranormal groups, who are smaller groups, can get together and work on overnighter, etc. We also do short events of about 4 hours as well.
Yeah.
So it's just an idea I wanted to put to the community, what they think about it, really. It's starting, I think the first one's in July, where people are actually working together. And I'm just interested to see what people think about actually doing that.
Right, well, I'm all for it, I must admit. Being a not-for-profit group, as you know. So how much is Sinai House normally?
Well, Sinai House has 2 price bands. It's very expensive for an overnighter, because what actually Sinai House is a house with people who actually live in it.
Yeah.
And they actually rent part of their house out, and they rent their grounds out. But they bring, part of the house is ruined, so they bring in a portable toilet, etc. So the costing is in with that. And there's the ghost walk. I'm with every event that's there as well. And there's a ghost tour with it as well, which is in with the price. But it is expensive. It's about £600 for an overnighter.
Right.
But short events are around about £15 a head for groups of 15 plus.
Yeah.
But the short events can be also used on the buddy system as well. So the way it would work is, if you did an overnighter, for instance, if there's 3 groups, we would match the 3 groups together, and we would only charge £200, and then we would say a certain cap on how many people would come and how many tickets you have to sell. But the price of tickets people have to sell is directly up to them, how much they want to charge on their website.
So how many people do they get to get there?
Well,
How many can you take?
It can take up to 50 or 60 people, but I would say that Sinai as an event, to be effective, would be about 30 people really overnight.
Right.
Because of the space limits, etc.
Yeah.
And part of the event would be outdoors as well. So quality of your event could go down with the large amounts of people. I usually put a cap at Halloween, etc. on people coming up.
Right.
Because events go down. You know, on a walk, obviously it's bigger because I've got a larger audience. So we're not doing big aisles, etc. on like a walk or something like that.
Right, okay. You wanted to ask a question, Neil?
Yeah, just a quick one. Is that the smelly part of Burton?
Yes,
I don't want to be rude, because
it's part of the thought when I'm actually going around, and I said when it's a still night, there's a smelly part of Burton coming over. So yes.
The last time I stayed
Where
in
the
Burton,
beer is.
no, I stayed
Remember
in
your visits to Burton then when you came down there?
I stayed in the Holiday Inn, and it's between the where they obviously doing the hops for the beer, and in between the Marmite factory.
Well, you either love it or hate it, Burton, really.
Well, you couldn't open your window in a hotel, put it that way.
This is it. But I must admit, we went to Cause Museum a couple of times. We didn't actually get to do it, though. I think we booked it, and then it all went up the wall, didn't it? So,
yeah, it did really, yeah. Cause Museum's changed hands. It's changed hands with the owners now. It's the National Museum of Brewing, and it's got a different company running it, etc. now. And I didn't particularly want to work with a particular management there. I declined to run it, so for Paranormal Events. So
yeah.
But that's another story, really.
We're going to do a bit of a buddy system sort of thing with Simply Ghost. We're going to the galleries.
Oh,
so
brilliant.
Yeah, so that will be good. So go on.
Sorry, Sue. Go on, carry on.
No,
Sorry.
it's all right. Go on.
I was hoping really that if it was something that took off at Sinai, it would be something that would be something in the community would do really, as such that people would team up more, groups 10, 20 would team up and actually do this around the country. Because I think what I'm noticing is that where there's been larger groups, there's smaller groups breaking away from them, and there's groups of 10 or 15 people setting up, and I think it's something venues will have to really think about in the future, really.
Yeah, well, this is it. You know, there's quite a few that's out of our price range at the moment. You know.
Yeah. I think they're very expensive at the moment, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
And it's a way that people can afford to do overnight investigations and short investigations as well, really.
Yeah. So, but as I say, with this one, for instance, right, when you say 30 people, that's obviously a maximum on the 3 groups, so they'll be taking 3 groups of 10 if there was 3 groups.
3 groups of 10, because but within those groups as well, some of the groups will be historical based, some of the groups are obviously psychic based, some are scientific, aren't they really, and some are all mixtures of both. And what we try to do is put the groups together so they work together as such, really. So if for instance there's certain groups, so we try and get the groups to talk to each other before the event, so obviously it goes smoothly, as it were, really.
Yeah, so it'd be good really if, like, for instance, us and Simply Ghosts were to share the night, because we know each other, you know.
Excellent. I mean, that's what we're getting happening.
You know, it's a is there a deposit to pay, by the way?
No, we don't take deposits.
Right.
You just pay. You pay the week before in full, so it gives you time to sell all your tickets, etc. And if people can't actually get the numbers of people and they cancel, there's no cancellation fees either, because I understand how hard it is to sell tickets. And how hard it is for the groups at the moment. So there is none of that at all. So
that's good. So. But yeah, it's a place I've always wanted to do. So what areas do you actually get apart from the outside? I've been told there's a kitchen area. What's the inside bit?
And the cellar, there's a large cellar underneath. Most of the vigils take place in the cellar area underneath. It's a very good venue to do in the good weather in July and August. You've got to think of it in winter though. But a lot of people do the vigils down by the tree. What has happened is, if you think of the history of Burton, is that it was a shrine, Lourdes shrine, equivalent with St Modwyn around 1,000 years ago. And what we've found in vigils happening is whereby spirit was very much very military and to do with the battles and everything. There was a certain individual called Henry Paget who was sent to the light around about 6 months ago. And since then, the energy has very much changed. There wasn't any demonic energy there. There is now. We do have demonic energy, to be honest with you, since we've had demonologists arrive who've worked on the site. And also, we're finding now that we're getting a lot of, where there's psychic events, we're getting a lot of individual readings coming through for the people who come to visit. So they're coming from different parts of the country, and they're talking very much about family members in vigil. So it was very much about the ghosts of the house, and it's gone very much, it's coming through where maybe you visit us and they maybe a relative from the other side would speak to yourselves. It's very much becoming like that. And actually, if I look back in the history, it was a place of healing, and I'm starting to wonder if something's starting to go on, to be honest with you, because it's really changed the way it was around about 7 years ago.
Yeah. So what kind of activity do you get there in the norm? What sort of things happen?
There's always something happens paranormally at Sinai House. It's very rare an event happens. People are pushed, pulled, tugs, orbs in different colours. There's been around about 10, 15 visitations. There's even been seen a whole army of ghosts walking up a hill, a full regiment, actually seen by about 25 people. And the strange thing is that with the general public, although they will talk about it, I don't know if you find this, but when they walk away, they keep very quiet about it, don't talk about it. They talk about it when they're on an event, but they don't talk about it when they actually leave the locations. It's quite strange, really.
Right. And I must admit, with small groups like us, the deposit can be a problem. You know, I mean, you know, some groups just haven't got it there. You know. So, but there are, you know, there are swings and roundabouts to it all. You know, but as you say, you're happy to say if you can't make it, not a problem, sort of thing. Yeah, I understand. I mean, if you put an event out. If most of the groups are listening to this, you put an event out on your website or some of the new groups coming through, you can't always sell your tickets. It's not that easy. We're in the middle of a recession at the moment as well, and people are very short of money. And you know, I think you can't really sell them. And if that happens, you know, we quite understand you cancel. It's not a major problem to us, really. I think to take a deposit is a bit criminal, really, to be honest, for a venue. Yeah, I've had to cancel one this week because I just can't afford the deposit. You know what I mean? I can't afford to take the risk to lose it if I can't sell it.
Exactly, because you've got to sell your tickets, and you've got to work together if you work with another team, and you know, you sell your tickets on a website, then people say on Facebook, I'm coming, and then they don't come, and they don't. And it comes up with them coughing up, and sometimes they won't pay for their tickets. So I understand that. With running a ghost walk, I understand how it is and how it is to sell tickets, because I'm on the other side as yourselves as well. So I'm not just just running a venue for the owners, really,
No.
as it were.
So how do the owners feel about having a tribe of people coming around their place at night?
They love it.
Do they?
Absolutely love it. Yeah,
They obviously don't get involved.
They leave me to get on with it and to do everything, and then allow me to run the events, really. So they're quite happy to do that, really, as such. And they are actually in the main part of their house, so
Yeah.
we're actually in part of their house, but they just give up that bit of the house when we're there.
And what's the situation like, for instance, brewing up and stuff? Is there a place to do that?
Yeah, you get all the electric and the actual kitchen area there. That's all given out to the paranormal groups, and a lot of paranormal groups who bring their equipment, 'cause some are more technical based, some are more psychic based, set up their cameras, etc. there. That's the area where most Haunted, when they were filming there, where they actually set all their cameras up and everything in that kitchen. That's what's main base. It's where all the electric is and everything. So most groups use that as base, and then they usually use the cellars and the outside. One outside area used as a vigil area. Or if it's a smaller area, they use the kitchen, or psychic type groups use the upstairs kitchen as for vigils as well. It's a small venue, but the Paranormal Activity reputedly has 168 ghosts in it, and it is very paranormally active. I will honestly say that. Yeah. But
You're probably seeing some of the comments that are being made in the chat
I'm not
room.
looking at it at all. I'm just I'm looking at you on the screen at the moment, you guys. So I don't know if it's good or bad because I'm not looking at it all.
Well, they're some of them are actually referring it to other places. Some people are saying that it's not bad, it's the right price. Some people that aren't actually into the paranormal side of the investigating side with a group are saying it sounds like a lot of money,
Yeah.
But obviously the groups that are on there are saying like bowling is more than $6.50 nowadays. They've put the price up and this, that and the other, you know what I mean? And which is one of the reasons why we didn't go back, to be honest with you, because it was quite expensive. So
Yeah, I haven't put the price up in about since.
No, I think it's
I've
been
never
that
put it
so-
up.
I think that's been that price
At all.
longer, you know.
I've certain other paranormal ghost walks and everything say, "Well, you don't charge enough." And
Yeah,
I said,
so
"No,
what we're
I
getting-
think
so
I think
basically-
£600 is a lot of money, actually."
So what you're saying? Did you say you get a ghost walk with that?
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, I do the ghost walk.
How do you work that one out? Is it around Sinai, or is it the ghost walk and then to go to Sinai?
Sinai Ghost Walk
Yeah.
is a different ghost walk. Now, I would be interested to see if the comments, you'd have to tell me because I'm looking at the screen.
Right.
Is actually different because it's the history and the ghosts of Sinai, but it's the paranormal activity. It's happened to groups before you and what happened to them. So what has actually happened paranormally. So if you're a paranormal group going around, you quickly pinpoint where all the paranormal cold spots, you would say, are, really, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So you could do your vigils if you're a psychic type group, or your experiments, etc. And I will give you a tour around at the beginning, but I'll tell you what's happened to the other people who went before you. And if you're into pheromonal energy, it's trying to build up that pheromonal energy with for the viewers, the listeners that wouldn't know what that is. It's supposed to be a hormone that's given off due to fear and to do laughter, etc., and that attracts spirit. Now, it's just that's just one theory, but by going around on the tour, it's actually building all that up before you start. Now, some groups decide they don't want that. They don't want to. They just want to get straight on with their 4 hours or their 8 or 9 hours or on their overnighter, and they want to get straight into the paranormal side of it, and that's fine. But I'm there all night to help you and assist you here as a historian, so I'm there to help you and be your guest, as it were, your host, not my guest, really, overnight. So I'm there overnight with you.
What was you laughing at, Neil?
I was just laughing at the pheromone side of things.
Pheromones, is that correct?
Yes, we do give off a certain pheromone when we're scared, and dogs usually pick up on that scent. But it's very unusual.
You could go into the realms of psychics here.
It's very unusual for a human to pick that up, though. It's very, very.
Is it?
very, very small amount.
Told me it was the pheromonal energy. Yeah. Maybe they were dog lovers then or something. You know?
Could be the RSPCA
I didn't really
ghost
inquire
hunting
too
team.
depth in that one.
Although I used to wear an aftershave that had pheromones in.
Yeah,
Male
I start
pheromones,
wearing it
yeah.
on the walks. It'd probably get people going more, you know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't get many women, but I got a lot of dogs running after me.
Did you remember the high karate
I do a
advert?
walk
Yes,
for
I
dogs,
remember
really.
that.
couldn't
Well,
I?
that's what was
Take 'em
supposed
out
to have
on
caused
beach or
that.
something.
Oh right.
Because it's the pheromones that attract the opposite sex. So,
So that's what it is then.
that's what was supposed to have been in high
Yeah.
karate
The
to attract them.
pheromones in high
Oh, is it?
Oh, it wasn't high
right,
karate. It
I
was
see.
some stuff I bought from Spain.
Tracy's
It's,
there saying you're not wearing that anymore.
Yeah. I wonder why she's telling me to sleep in a separate bed.
Can I just say that I've never ever worn high karate ever in my life.
It's me a slap across the back of the neck now. Oh, dear.
I was bought some when I was 17.
I don't believe you. I think you
I
did.
never really wore aftershave though.
I could tell by your body language.
No, I actually bought this stuff from Spain. It was called Veron Dandy.
Veron Dandy.
Yeah,
Hey
and it was quite well known. It had Spanish fly sugar in it and everything.
Oh
Apparently,
my god.
Was it a Spanish
there you
fly
go.
in it, did it?
it never worked. I must say, it never worked. It did smell nice, but it never worked.
I don't know. So, but
Brute, says Sherlock.
brute. I don't know. But so
Believe it or not, I've actually got some brute in the bedroom and it's still in the box.
So he hasn't got it out of
It's not
the
even
box
opened
yet.
yet.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Take it to the Antiques Roadshow. You might get something.
So Chris, so it's only Sinai you're dealing with now in the ghost walks. You're not thinking about finding anywhere else.
Not at the moment, no. Sinai's keeping me quite busy at the moment, to be honest. But
Yeah, it was always one of your key locations, wasn't it? Really.
yes, it was. It's always been a key location, really. I think I've been up there 7 or 8 years now.
Yeah.
You know, it's always been. But of the locations that I managed, I would say it is the most paranormal. It has the most paranormal activity. It's had a lot of things happen, and I think I would imagine that's why there's so many people going up there now, because of the amount of things that happen to people which they can't explain. When people are pushed, pulled, tugged, thrown across rooms, tables smashing up walls, and various things happening, and a ghost actually seen in full visitation. I suppose word spreads really, and but I've got to say it is one of the most paranormal active of the buildings in the town. I mean, reputedly there's 250 ghosts in Burton-on-Trent, and they seem to be they're a funny bunch. They all seem to cohabit a lot in houses. There seem to be 4 or 5 of them in one building, you know, as you go around on walks. So yeah, but Sinai's, yeah, definitely my favourite, you could say, really.
Yeah. I remember when we first met you. After a while, we were considering Sinai. I went with Steve, and we walked up that bloody great big hill.
Yeah.
And then because it's got a fence around it, hasn't it? You can't get in. You've got
Well,
to go through the
it's got
gates.
more spooky over the years, Sue, because it's now got a big hedge round it, so it's completely secluded
Yeah,
from.
I remember at the time
from-
we was trying to get pictures of it, you know, to sort of like get some idea of what it would look like, and you just couldn't get high enough to take pictures. I don't know
No.
what people must have thought.
Well, they've grown the hedge round it more now, and it's got a massive big gate, and it looks like the haunted house on Haunted Hill. You look like this Tudor building, and then
Yeah.
you have to go up a big drive to it as well, don't you? And I took one of the psychics up there, and he said, I'm scared of going for a pee. He said, I'm not going out here. I said, you're the psychic on the event. You're supposed to be talking to the spirit. He said, I won't go down here. It's flipping haunted. He said, down this lane. It's full of them, you know.
I
But
don't
yes,
know.
it has that psychological effect before you even get to it. You have to go up that windy hill up to the top of the road, and the gates are there, and the gates open, and we're standing there beckoning you all in and welcoming you in. Yeah, so it is a bit spooky before you even arrive at the place.
Yeah,
you know.
I bet. It's got all the credentials, isn't it? Really, in that respect.
Well, it's spooky for me because when all of you guys have gone home, I've got to close up, and I go down that lane on my own, you know, with all the ghosts. So apparently there's a highwayman down there, so they say, and various other spirits on the way, and the monk as well are supposed to haunt that area down that lane. So
what do you think, guys, in the chat room? Simply Joe, Stuart, do you fancy a trip to Sinai House sometime? So there's another one you could probably book.
Brilliant. Well, if anybody wants to go to Sinai House, if you go to Burton Ghost Walk on Google, all the Sinai events and the buddy system is mentioned there as well. Cool. Or anybody wants to know about the buddy system, just go to Burton Ghost Walk, contact me off there. There's a telephone number on there as well. And I can tell you about all the rates, or just if you want to come for a ghost walk, or just do an hour at Sinai House. I think for about 15 plus people, it's about £10 for a ghost walk. So you can actually go on a ghost walk. Now, if you're a paranormal group, it's a good thing to do because you can have a good look around without, and see if you don't want to do it as an event without having to pay too much, really. So it's a good way of doing it, really.
Simply Joe said she contacted them a while ago and was told 800.
All right. What they would have done was, I've reduced. It's been reduced down from 800. What that would have been a long time ago. Right. I'll explain the Portaloos a minute as well.
Okay.
It's £600 now. 800 was far too much. Everybody contacts the house direct. All the house will do is they just pass it straight on to me. So it's actually quicker just to go to Burton Ghost Walk and just go through us, because all they'll do is pass it over to me to sort out. They haven't departmentalised it, and I have to sort it all out for you for all the community. So it's just quicker to talk to me about it, really. Yeah. The reason there's a Portaloo there is that Sinai House, I haven't mentioned, is partly ruined. And the area you're in hasn't got a toilet, so what we do, we pay several £100 of the cost that you're paying is a charge for the Portaloo. It's actually it's £300 for the Portaloo, so actually the actual cost for an overnight is £300.
Yeah, so then you're paying half for the Portaloo.
Yeah, so I have to pay for the Portaloo as well, yeah.
So you can't get it half price, guys, because they won't like you going into the edge.
Yeah, it's all gone on the loo.
I didn't use the loo, so can I get it at half price? No.
And I think a loo's very important when you're on a paranormal event as well, you know.
Yes.
When you're seeing ghosts, you know what I mean? So.
And these are obviously quite clean.
So they're very clean, yes. They're brought in the night before, so they're all very spot and clean for the...
Because when some people think about Portaloos, they think, don't they, of a, dingy cubicle, you know what I mean?
No, it's... I had a good examination of it before the event starts, and there you've got your deluxe Portaloo, which you use with opening the door and the light goes on and everything. So it's a modern Portaloo. Apparently used when they had the Olympic Games in London, because I couldn't run any events when they were on because there was no Portaloos left in the Midlands. So we couldn't bring any Portaloos in, so we had to cancel all the overnighters.
Right, I see. So, okie dokie. Well, thanks for telling us all about that. I'll have a look on your website later, and I'll put some of the stuff onto our site as well. So
thank you very much. Thank you. That's really good of you, Sue. Thank you.
Okay, but it's nice speaking to you again, Chris. You've really been a stranger.
It's been years since I've spoken to you guys. It's really nice talking to you again.
We'll have to pop down for a drink again sometime, me and Steve.
You should do. The beer's good down here. You should pop down for a quick half down here. You really should.
I must admit, Steve used to like going to Coors when they used to spray the glass.
Yeah, the Coors Light extra cold. Oh man, that was beautiful.
I thought it was great.
Well, they do. They put it on a contraption, and as the beer's going in, they sprayed freezing cold water at it. Yeah. So the beer partially freezes.
And he loves that. He thought that was great.
That's we call a cold beer.
So, but it would be good. We'll have to arrange something in the near future.
You'll have to come down. You definitely have to come down.
So, we'll do that. So, okay.
I look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, keep in touch, Chris. All right.
I will do. You look after yourself, guys.
And you. Take
care.
Nice
to talk. And you. See you then.
Bye. See you, Chris.
Bye. Bye.
Nigel went to Portal. Lou.
Nigel.
Yeah, Joe said that I wouldn't want to go to Lou in case it disappeared.
It is deluxe. So
right.
I'm sure Chris will stay in the chat room for a while. So if you want to ask him any questions directly, do so. But it was nice seeing Chris again. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time since we met Chris.
Cause is calling Steve, so I think we'll have to.
They actually do a nice meal there. I assume they still do it.
Yeah.
They used to do and a very nice meal there.
It's just that smell. I can't get past that smell.
Can't, what
I mean, I used to go to Burton quite often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had business to do there, but
I didn't notice it when I was down there, to be honest.
it was
with
in
you.
between, obviously, the beer making and the hops and everything, and
You're more than welcome, Chris, any time.
the Marmite factory was on the other side, and I was slap bang in the middle. It was
Mine-
like-
Well, I was alright. I like my mite as well, so I'm okay.
I must admit, when
no, you wouldn't like the smell.
Excuse me, when I drive to Ashton, and every now and again I smell that bloody
If-
biscuit.
Oh, the
if you-
biscuit
well,
factory.
if you were to smell the Weetabix factory, it would put you off Weetabix. for
We
a while.
did. We
Oh,
did,
you
when we went to we did that pub in Liverpool. What was it called? What was the name
The
of the
Gateway.
pub?
Oh,
Yeah, the Gateway.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we did
Yeah.
the Gateway. Right.
So he said, love it or hate it, lol.
Yeah. There's not much in the way of questions for you in there, Neil. So I'm going to ask you about guides.
Guides, yes. What
Tell
about
us-
guides?
I mean, I've heard you say that you have guides. You have different guides for different things. But
Sometimes.
I assume we have
Sometimes.
one overall guide that others come in and help out from time to time. Would this be the fact?
Again, it depends. It depends on who you are. Depends on what you're working with. Depends on a lot of factors. If you're working professionally in this game, if you're not, if you're just sensitive, there's so many factors that would, go against what kind of guide you have, whether they're full time, whether they're with you all the time, whether it's family members, whether it's someone who's strange to you, unknown, whether the guides that come in and train you in different aspects. There's a whole bunch of different systems out there that get put on us depending on what we're doing. I have a main guide who's been with me for many years. He'll be with me most of the time through mediumship, whereas if I'm doing physical demonstrations where I'm teaching, then I'll get a different guide who comes in with 3 or 4 other people, and they would do the teachings. Sometimes if I'm doing healing stuff, I'll get another guide that comes in again who's been with me quite a long time, and do that kind of thing. So it depends, what you're doing, who you are, what purpose you're using it for. There's a whole-
But we quite often get people, guys that just come in to teach us one thing and then go again.
I mean, that can be the fact, or it could be one guy that's teaching you everything. It doesn't necessarily work that way.
Yeah, I still want to know who the hell mine is.
Ask.
I ask.
Keep asking. Keep asking. Patience is a virtue.
I know he's there, but
and he will let you know exactly who he is
and
when he's ready, when the time's right.
I know he's there, but that's all I know. It's like, show yourself.
He might not want you
Give
to
me
know.
something. Give me something so I can just talk politely to you. Not, hey, guide, come and help me. Like, I mean, Robert, can you help me out here, please? You know what I mean? Anything.
Well, mine certainly helped me last week, but we won't go into that story, shall we?
Charlotte said he's asked his guide to help him pay with the bedroom tax.
I asked mine to do something very similar last week.
It had nothing to do with the bedroom tax.
I was very, very punished for it the following day. So
I don't know.
Yes, but you were.
Don't.
But you was called an upstanding member of the pub.
Right, one thing that was mentioned last week
I
that
think
we
I
were
am.
talking about, okay,
Yeah, go on, Sue.
is psychometry.
Woohoo.
Woohoo! So we did have a subject to talk about psychometry.
Yeah.
Now, I do a little bit of psychometry, and as far as I can see, it's a combination of normal psychic awareness plus the ability to read the energy patterns that we all leave on the objects around us. But it is also an act, as in an aid to the psychic. Would you agree with that?
Do I agree with that?
Yes.
No.
No. Well, I actually thought, to be honest with you, right, I was thinking about psychometry because when you do it, you don't exactly think about what it is. You just do it. Yeah.
Yep.
You agree with that?
Exactly.
So I thought, well, okay, we've all got an aura.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and sometimes I sit there, Steve sits there, and we play with our energy ball. Yeah? So,
I'm trying
Can
to
you-
think what you do.
Yeah, can you quantify that one, please?
I said keep it clean. I mean, come on.
Listen, we play with an energy ball, yeah? We see.
Right, okay.
Which, to me, in theory, is my aura around my hands, and I'm
Right.
bouncing it.
Okay.
Would that sound feasible? But what I'm thinking is, right, when I'm holding an object,
Yeah.
whatever, I can't think of one at the moment. But say
There you go.
again. Oh, go on then. If I'm holding an object like this, yeah, right, to get something from it.
Just don't over-energise it, you
am
might
I
break
right in
it.
thinking that it's it's interacting with my aura, my energy field, and that's where I'm getting the energy from this into me, and that's telling me what's going on.
Okay.
No.
Do you think you're actually getting energy from an object?
No,
Like,
no,
like if somebody,
I think it's
I'll give you an example.
mine.
I'll give you an example.
Go on.
Somebody hands you a engagement ring.
Right,
That
it's
they've-
got there.
Do you think that holds their footprint energy in that?
I think it must hold their essence in it
They
because they've
okay.
been wearing it,
Is that what you really think?
right? And therefore, I hold it,
Hmm.
right? And my aura, energy, whatever you want to feel, has been broken. This is what I think has been broken a bit by the fact that I've got it in my hand,
Uh huh.
and my energy interweaves with the essence of the object,
Okay.
and therefore that then mingles and
Gives
I
you
get
in-
vision
gives you
or
information.
whatever, and gives me information.
Right.
That's what I was thinking today.
Okay.
Answer to that: stop thinking.
Well, no, every the way I've been taught and what I've been told by psychometry is the objects don't hold any energy whatsoever.
Right, well, I just felt it was how it had an
Basically,
essence.
basically what you're doing is you've got an object that you're concentrating on a certain person, okay, and it's exactly the same as clairvoyance, okay. It's another tool, psychometry. It's another
Right.
tool, okay.
Okay.
So you're holding an object that you've been given by a person that you know has either got to be a friend or a family member or somebody that's been in the family because the ring's been handed down or whatever. So basically what you're doing is you're concentrating on that object that you've been given from that person, okay? But what you're actually doing is you're not using energy from that object. You're actually using your own thoughts and you're getting into contact with your own clairvoyance, and that's giving you the messages, or it's giving you the information
So
about
you're-
the object that you're holding in
So
your
you're
hand.
telling me there's no essence on that object?
Right.
That's,
My belief,
yeah.
what I've been taught, I'm saying no, there isn't. What you believe in is completely different. I'm not changing anyone's views. I'm not here to do that. But
It's not my belief. It's
my
just what I'm
belief,
thinking.
no, but
Right, well,
my belief is it. I mean, Nigel's just said there it's a focus for the psychic attention, which it is. It's a tool for you to concentrate.
yeah.
Okay, it's very similar to the tarot. Yeah, again, you know, you've got something to concentrate on. Whereas you'll get to a stage where you can just throw away the tarot cards because you're getting it automatically in your head anyway. So you're picking it up psychically about the object. The object isn't giving you information. It's not giving you energy. It doesn't hold energy. It doesn't hold any kind of footprint or anything. It doesn't hold on to anything.
See,
It's just a
sometimes
ring.
If they haven't got anything to give me, I'll ask them. If
It's
they can
the
hold
same.
their hand,
It's the same as a
something,
photograph. Somebody can put a photograph into an envelope,
which I've done.
which you've done.
Yes.
Okay. So you saying that envelope that they bought from the post office the day before carries energy from their dead relative who died 20 years ago?
Can I just stop you for a minute? We're talking about anything and everything. Neil came up with an idea last week that this week was going to be you pick the subject
And we'll try and talk about
we'll
it.
try and talk about it. Okay, Doc? This is the plan. Later on we have got a medium coming on Skype that's prepared to do readings to those that are on Skype so she can see them. Okay, but apart from that, at the moment, Neil's put himself in the spotlight
I'm in the
and said,
firing line.
ask me anything. Reiterate what you said.
Keep it clean and keep it paranormal.
Right,
So this is it. So if you've got anything to ask, now's the chance.
right.
So psychometry.
Right, I've got a question on this one. 'Cause I remember our Degsy doing the show
Our
on
Degsy.
on
Degsy.
TV,
Yeah.
where he would walk in and
Derek
there'd,
Cole.
and there'd be an object on
Yeah.
a pedestal for
Yeah.
him, not necessarily a ring that he's actually seen somebody take it off.
Yeah.
So he's got no idea what the link is, and
Yeah.
he's picked up stuff from these
Yeah.
objects.
Mhm.
So how's that work then? Because
I do it every time I do a show.
because he hasn't got a clue
No. Well, I
what
do
that
it.
relates to.
Every time I do a show, I do the same thing. I'm getting information. I
What-
will go to the person I'm getting information for.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody left a ring on the table, I'd still get the same information. I'd still go to the same person without the ring, or whether the ring was there or not. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but he on what I was seeing there, he wasn't going to anybody. He was picking up what he was getting from the object,
Hmm.
and it wasn't until after he'd finished that the person who brought it in
Well,
would
that
come
would
into
be
the room.
So much easier for me than doing my show, because I wouldn't have to go to the person then, would I? I could just say on the microphone, well, I'm getting such and such from this particular ring or whatever. So I wouldn't actually have to point out the person in the audience.
Yeah, I mean, the people did come in afterwards, but
oh yeah, but that's afterwards. But I mean, it doesn't compute with me, to be honest.
That doesn't compute.
No, but
So this
we'll have to ask Eggsy next week.
this here is saying that whenever we handle an object, we
Yeah.
are laying down information
Yeah.
about ourselves on that object,
hmm
because our bodies give off magnetic energy fields.
which it does.
Right? It can be likened to a recording on the audio tape. It's also important to remember that an object has been handled by more than one person. Thus, its history may reveal things that are not relevant to the sitter. Yeah, if, for example, the object has been passed down by a family, it will contain information about its previous owners. But back to our tape recorder, the psychic can then be thought of a tape player playing back the information stored within the object. Now, apparently, you can do this to even furniture,
Yeah.
touch furniture, and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's the way Degsy was using it.
hmm
So,
Can I just say that Nigel he said the focus on the object connects with our higher self
Yeah.
to the ethereal, where messages, info is transferred from my experience.
From the medium's experience or from the psychic's experience.
from his experience.
So you're
just say-
actually getting a direct message,
Yeah.
either through your guide or through whoever's coming through with that information and giving you that information. There's no such thing as a diamond ring being a tape player and holding information and a footprint or a fingerprint or... I mean, you imagine that ring, how many people that's been through. It's got to go through the maker, it's got to go through
Yes.
the shop that handles it, it's got to go through... It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, I'm picking up information and... Oh, did you used to run a shop? you know, it's
Yeah,
not
I know what
right.
you
It's
mean,
not
yeah.
right. But what I'm trying to say is, whatever object you're given, or whether it's a photograph, a ring, or that is just an object of focus for you to focus on, and it's a tool which again lengthens your ability in clairvoyance, or whether you've got psychic ability, or you know, your mediumistic skills, or whichever way you work. And that's all it is. It's just an extra tool to work with, and
Like
helps
with
you
the tarot
focus.
cards.
Yeah, it helps you focus. Yeah.
Because obviously now when I do the tarot cards, I call myself an intuitive reader.
I mean, I couldn't put my hand on that wall and say, "Oh, Paddy built this 50 years ago with his plastering outfit." You know, it's
Well-
wrong.
No, I
Well, excuse me, I can put my hand on that wall and say this was Bren's bedroom
because
because he's written his piggy name on the door.
and we can't get it off.
There's certain objects that do carry energy, things like wood. I mean,
Yeah.
wood's living, it never dies.
No.
You know, and that's why we get wood warps. You know, doors warp,
Yeah.
doors shrink, and because it's still living, it's still a living thing. You know, so that would still hold energy.
Right.
But
So Reiki Deb says, so a building or object in an alleged haunted place cannot hold energy. Many mediums say that is why our spirits, the spirits are present because of the objects.
no,
Charlotte says objects are a part of all this, which is the energy, and that is different.
certain things can hold energy.
She said, or are they just attached to the objects for some reason?
That's more like it.
That's more like
Yeah,
it. Right.
that's more the solution than
It's
things
attachment.
carrying energy. You
So
know,
it's the attachment.
yeah, only living things can carry energy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, okay, crystals carry energy, but it's just the way that they're made, but not everything carries this energy. I mean, you know, something like a photograph or a ring, or I'm going back to that subject.
Yeah.
They don't carry a particular set of energies that you could rely on that would give you a history of a person that wore that ring.
So they can't carry the essence because
No.
you've worn it for so long. So are you saying is that they just attached to the object for some reason?
Well, there could be certain objects in the house that they were attached to when they were living,
Right.
but it's more than likely that they are there
Yeah.
because they are in a place that they are comfortable being in,
Yeah.
that they spent a lot
So
of time
if,
in.
let's say for
when they
instance,
did live.
Right, we've got an old chest of drawers.
Yeah.
It used to be in this house.
hmm
It belonged to me nan. Not
Yeah.
that it did. Right. Hypothetical. It belonged to me nan. Right, and because it's so old, Manchester Museum have decided to put it there.
hmm
My nan liked it that much. She's now haunted museum.
No, I wouldn't say it would.
No, what I mean is she's attached to the object.
But I wouldn't
You know
say
what
no. I wouldn't say that would be the actual reason that she would haunt the museum
No,
because
but-
her chest of drawers was moved
No,
there.
that she's attached to the object for some reason.
You may get a visitation or two from
Yeah,
her because she
right.
wants to look in on something that she really liked when she was alive,
Right,
and something that she believed in. But we get spirits haunting a place because that was the place that they spent. That was the place that they feel at home. They're more comfortable there. They spent most of the time there, and that's why they're That's why they're still in that place. You know, some spirits will haunt the place because they can't move on. There's so
Yeah.
many different reasons, but it's not because of a particular object. You know, I wouldn't go and haunt a place because I don't know, my toilet seat what I bought from B&Q, which was absolutely astonishing because it had fish on it, got sent to the National History Museum. You know, I wouldn't go and, you know,
Haunt the toilet.
I wouldn't go and haunt the toilet in the National History Museum.
So, talking about toilets, why is it whenever you go into a haunted place, 9 times out of 10, there's a male spirit in the ladies' loo?
Well, do I have to answer that?
I think that rather depends
Maybe that is
on
a
what it
place
was.
that I would like to haunt. but
I think that rather depends on what it
Right.
was before it was a loo.
well, that again.
Leanne says maybe they've... right, okay, we've got a couple of things here. I know if I was dead, I'd be off seeing the world and the universe, not hanging around a house, which is what Derek says. He said,
Okay.
when you die, you can even go on a cruise if you want.
Go
Right.
wherever you want.
And Leanne says, or they have unfinished business there.
Yeah, that's correct.
Charlotte says, I do believe that those who know how to, and this is high occult science, can charge objects to carry info, but this is temp and does not stay with the object for long.
Yeah, I don't think we should talk about that subject, Nigel.
You can charge objects, but you have to keep charging them. Crystal skulls being point in case.
Crystals, crystals are a good carrier of energy, but they won't hold energy forever.
Right.
And that's why you have to charge them or put them in sunlight or whatever people do with crystals, which is beyond me why they do it. But
So, is there any other questions you need to ask Neil? What is your theory on psychometry?
say no more, Nigel.
What's your theory on psychometry?
I'm not talking about that subject tonight.
Ask us a question. What do you think? Is he right? Is he wrong? Do you think he's wrong? Come on, talk to us. Tell us what you think.
Like I said at the start, this is my belief. This is the way I've been taught. And, you know, you've all got your own beliefs out there, so I'm just giving you my point of view to the whole thing.
Claire's.
We've got another subject.
Sorry?
Claire's.
I thought you said eclairs.
No,
Don't start. I'll be sending him to Asda later.
No, not eclairs.
No cream cakes, please, in the hub.
Yes, Claire's.
Keep it clean.
I mean, some of us use more than one Claire at a time when we're working.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like yourself.
Yeah.
Which would you say, in your personal experience, is the most important?
Not to me or to...
To you and in general.
in general.
To yourself first.
I think the most probably widespread used one would be clairvoyance. It is one of the big abilities up there that most people are born with, and that usually the clairvoyant ability is the one that you're born with straight away. That's the first ability that comes out when you're a child. It's the first one that becomes present, you know, when you're born. So, I mean, clairvoyance is obviously very important to me. Clairaudience would probably be second to that.
Can I just stop you a minute?
Yeah.
Clairvoyant is seeing, isn't it?
Yeah, clear vision. Yeah,
Clairvision.
clairaudience would probably be my second most important because it's clear hearing, so
Yes.
you get to hear them. Apart from that, I mean, obviously you've got clairsentience, clear smelling, which I'm not particularly not particularly bothered about because you get some strange smells. But
Yes.
it does come important when, I mean, clairsentience. That was quite important when I was doing the exorcism work and the so-called demonology stuff, because you do pick up the smells that you're supposed to pick up,
Yeah.
you know, to give you that sense of danger and things
And
like
the
that,
physical
so
stuff that comes
and the
in.
physical stuff as well, yeah. So
So that would be in that order for you.
definitely in that order.
Andy 707 says Claire Smellian.
Claire Smellian, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Evening, Andy. If you just joined us, let me just explain. We've got Neil here with us. Last week he dropped himself into a deep hole and said this week he's going to be open to any subject regarding its paranormal.
And we've already spoke about the Nile crocodile. So
Yeah.
As long as he knows about
as long
it.
as it's not pornography, dirty, and it must have something to do with the paranormal. He's prepared to answer any question and speak about any topic.
I'm not turning into an agony aunt. Thanks, Nigel.
Okay. We've had Chris from Burton Ghost on. He's been telling us about one of his venues and about the body system. So if you missed that, you can hear it a bit later on the replay, which will be up in the next 24 to 48 hours. Round about 9:30, 9:45, we're having Alison Wynne-Ryder on. She's coming on via Skype, so if you would like a reading from her, you will need to have Skype, okay? And also your camera as well, because she'd like to see you when she does the reading. So, as I say, tonight is crazy night where Neil's concerned, because he don't know where you're going to take him, so it's all down to you. Well, Leanne's come in and said, how do you feel about past lives?
Past lives? Yeah. Past lives are very important. I'm on my 3rd visit down here. So
your 3rd?
Yes, this is my 3rd visit down here. I'm on my 3rd life, put it that way.
Can I just have a look? Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know you were into palmistry. So.
I'm not.
Was that just an excuse to hold me hand?
No. No.
Come on.
What was his name? Peter Wall.
Peter.
Yeah, she did that.
All right. Okay.
Right, okay. He basically said, "Oh yeah, that's right." So if you put your hand like that,
okay.
Yeah.
And then read the tracks.
And then you read the tracks.
That's your life.
So you've had 2. And you would say I've had a little one there and a long one there. So, but I think it's your left hand, isn't it? You do that basically.
I've had one long one short one, and I'm in my 3rd.
1, 2, 3, yeah. So I think it's your left hand.
Okay.
And that's how you read how many lives you've had, apparently.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had 3.
You had 3 as well.
Yeah. But you had
join the 3 club.
Yeah, 3 club.
The 3 club.
Yeah.
3 past lives.
Yeah. And Andy said, "How did you get into exorcism?"
Oh, very long story. Very, very long story. You don't get into it. Well, you do get into it. I was actually appointed by I can't really name names, but there's a certain priest for the High Church of England who appointed me because he knew of my work, and that's how I sort of got into that.
Right, so that's how you got into that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have others. We'll be going back to past life again in a minute, I think.
We really do.
Do you believe, like the Mayans, you can switch on your pineal gland? I hate that word. I really do.
I don't think it's a case of switching it on. I think it's always on anyway, which mine's always on. But I think I do think that you have to attune it. You know, there is a process that you have to go through. But you know, you can allow yourself a certain break by releasing some of the energy from it, which you know it will dwindle in energy, and you know. But I don't think you can't switch it off.
Right. Okay.
Can you just say? I think I must have missed something, because someone said hello, Richard.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
And I can't find a Richard, so
No, I can't
if I
either.
missed you, hi Richard.
Right. Okay. What's the next one? Can you ask Neil? This is from Charlotte. Why? Oh God, where's he gone?
There he is.
I lost it. Can you ask Neil why he thinks very few hauntings take place in supermarkets?
Well, most supermarkets are they're quite new buildings anyway. I don't think you get a lot of deaths in Asda and Tesco's and Aldi and.
But what was there before it? This is the thing.
Maybe what was there before it, yeah. But if you can imagine how many people go through a supermarket at any one time. I mean, if you look at, say, for instance, Tesco, they would probably have 1 million customers per week going through their till structure.
Yeah.
So you've got 1 million people going through that one site at any one time. You can imagine the amount of energy that's going through that building. You know, that would make it so strenuous to a spirit that's in there.
Right.
I do know of certain supermarkets that I've been in that there have been things in there, but I don't feel like they're actually going around freely or as freely as they would wish to, basically because of the amount of energy that's in there. Because they're very, very lively places.
Yeah.
Andy said he's seen 1 or 2 zombies in there. and Doc said it's not the people who die in the supermarkets, it's the checkbooks.
I've seen lots of zombies in the Aldi mark.
And he also said, do you believe in demons?
Yes, do you believe
No,
in
I don't
demons?
believe in demons. Although I did, I did actually go through demonology for a couple of years.
Yes, you did.
And study it. But no, I don't believe in demons as such. Some people name
Not the classic demons,
No, not
anyway.
the classic demons. No, I do believe that there is bad energy and low level energy and various other stuff out there. But demonology is just it's a story. It's a storybook. That's been written. It's a bit like. No, I'm not going to say that. But
Yeah, I mean, Chris said he used to work for a supermarket that was converted from a cinema.
mm-hmm.
So, in that case, it's not. I mean, when we get hauntings, it's not always the building they're in, is
I'm
it?
not saying
It's what was there before, isn't
I'm
it?
not saying that they're never haunted, but it's just a really, really bad place to be haunting in because of the amount of energy that's going through that building at any one time.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, and he said there's a famous picture of a ghost in Toys R Us. Apparently.
Well, you once did a list of demons, famous ones.
Uh-huh.
I did, yeah.
No, Steve. I mean Neil. Yeah.
Yeah, I did as well.
Right.
Hi, Andy.
And all the famous ones. You also did fates and who alters the ones who alters destinies, like poltergeist, who might cause mischiefs, and incubus and succubus and all that lot. You know what I mean? There was also a list that you did that corresponded with the several deadly sins. Okay, do you remember this at all?
This is going way, way back.
Oh yeah, Lucifer for pride, Mammon for avarice, Asmodeus for lust, Satan for anger, Beelzebub for gluttony, Leviathan is for envy, and Belphegor for vanity and sloth. Demons, possessions, that is, a human who has been inhabited or taken over by a demon who cannot consequently exercise their own will. Now, you say you don't believe in demons, but you do believe in possessions.
Yes.
A few cases of possession do seem to crop up from time to time, and the Roman Catholic Church does continue sparingly to perform exorcisms.
And so does the High Church of England. It's not just strictly there's.
So what are they actually being possessed by? You even go on to say ancients also had a sort of faith in the prophetic words spoken by those whom they believed to be possessed by demons, and this was sometimes a component of ancient oracles. In connection with this, it is worth pointing out that a modern-day professor, respected rather, of psychology, whom once witnessed a friend who was suffering from paranoid schizophrenic, made a specific and surprising prophecy that turned out to be hypothesis.
Perfectly accurate.
That's alright, I missed the line. Turned out to be perfectly accurate. The professor had no explanation of this event, although one is tempted to hypothesize that there is a link between altered mental state and psychic ability. Some also associate the Ouija board with demonical. Will you stop with these big words? The prophecies, and those who have seen Linda Blair in The Exorcist will recall that this was how her character began problems. Now, I found this years ago, by the way, from a certain forum that you put it on. So, along with your gatekeepers and such, and called it Neil's Words of Wisdom. But yeah, so them demons. What do you think to them? I mean, about the exorcism?
No, I mean, no.
Do you really think they're demonised, or have they just actually got a bad spirit?
It's not a demon. It's not. We just classify them as demons because somebody many years ago came out with the fact that let's give these bad energies a name by what they specifically do, you know, and then the word demons came out, and then demonology, and then everybody was getting all twisted into this major, the Exorcist and everything else, you know, and then it was just something that grew and grew and grew. Demonology, it's been out for centuries, obviously, you know, within the churches and things like that, but there's no such thing as a demon. It's just a made-up word, a made-up name.
Right.
It's just names that they've given certain energies. But we do have low-level energies that thrive from negative energy. You know, and things like poltergeists and possessions would thrive from a negative energy. So they would make as much negativity as they can within a certain specific body or family group or family member or whatever, you know, and that's what they feed off. The more negative energy, the better for them. But what a possession is a negative energy or a low-level energy that wants to walk this earth again. So they will do what they can to possess that body, and it allows them to have a host that they can walk this earth with.
Right. Did we do the second one from Leanne? Did we recap that?
I don't think
She recapped back on past lives. She said, can past lives haunt your present?
Well, considering a past life is a past life to a person that's still living, the past life can't come back and haunt, but what the past life can have various effects on the person that's living with that past life. So say one of my past lives could affect. I mean, I'm I'm very gentlemanly, okay, but I wasn't brought up to be gentlemanly. But I am very gentlemanly, so I think that I got that from, say, you know, maybe 100 years ago when I lived as maybe a gentleman, you know. So I think that these things can have effect. The past life that you've had can have effect on your present day.
Yeah, could that also account for a lot of deja vu?
See, deja vu is another thing.
Things you remember from a past life that you've seen again.
It can be, yeah, it can be. I mean, deja vu, again, there's different types of deja vu as well, so...
Yeah, I mean, I've quite often been to places, and for some reason I've known where something was. Usually the toilet, but
you know the biggest factor in deja vu.
I think a lot of it is you tend to see it a split second before your mind.
Okay.
Actually,
one of the biggest things, when we talk about deja vu quickly,
yeah, cool.
One of the biggest things about deja vu is that spirits will work with us during our sleep time.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why they do that is because they've got 100% attention from us. Okay. Most people are scared if they've seen somebody from the spirit realm who wants to come down and teach them a lesson. You know, they would be in shock and awe. So usually sleep time is lesson time from spirits. So they will come down, they will give us energy or healing or teach us lesson or you know, and they'll whisper in our ear or subliminal messaging, or you know, they'll do something in our sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. And we keep hold of that information in a subliminal way in our mind or our body. Okay. Now what deja vu is the end of that lesson that we've just been given. Okay. So we've come to the end of that lesson that we've just been taught by spirit in our sleep, and that's what deja vu is. So we're then ready to move on to the next one.
Right. Yeah. Well, B19AJN said, I'm accident prone. That think I must have been a crash test dummy in my past life. Simply Joe said, she said, I think I must have been a wine taster.
Yeah, that's definite.
So,
Yeah.
A vodka maker.
A Vinta.
But
Yeah.
yes. So
Can I just touch on something here?
Yeah.
Going back to mediums and healers and that taking advantage. I think. I mean, there's been one that's been in the news over the last couple of days. Just got 16 years.
Yeah.
For molesting.
And so he should do.
Molesting women through his healing over the last 25 years. I also know that this particular gentleman, so I have to use that word wisely, so also was keen on using his psychic abilities to attack other people, other mediums in particular. What's your view on, not so much what he got done for, but the other bit?
Yeah. Well, we've all done silly things in the past. You know, and I have been known to come out of my body a few times. You know, and I did get slapped for it many years ago. So we've all done something, okay. But to that effect, there's two ways really. Either he was working with a low energy guide who thought that was quite appropriate for him to do things like that. Otherwise, he shouldn't have been working with him at all. And you know, I don't care what anybody says. If you misuse your ability, it will be took from you. You know, I know mine is, as you know, because it happened over Christmas.
Yes, yes. Big Ben was not happy with you, was he?
But he must have been working with a low level.
Can I just stress that he wasn't misusing?
No, I wasn't misusing
his gift. It was just he decided to answer back.
I argued the point, put it that way, and it didn't work. It didn't go in my favour. So anyway, learned me lesson from that. But no, he must have been working with a low level energy guide in some way who thought that was appropriate for him to do them actions and work in that way. Because it was just totally misuse of everything that we believe in, you know. So yeah, and there are people out there that are doing it. I know one particular person that's doing it now. You know, obviously I'm not naming names, but at some stage he will be taught a lesson because they will catch up on you. You know, Karma's a bitch, and I'm very good friends with her, so I know how she works. You know.
Yes.
She'll, you know,
but
it'll
why
all catch
doesn't
up.
she come round when people need her? Why does she have to wait and let, like, what would they say? Revenge
Well,
is bitter.
it's like the old saying is, it's slowly catch a monkey.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we'll give them a chance, see if they would change their ways. You know, learn the lesson.
Revenge is better served cold, as they say.
It's not exactly revenge, but it's you know, you've got to teach a good lesson, haven't you? You know, if you're going to abuse it in that way.
Yeah, it takes time.
Right, okay, so, right, we're going to take a quick break. Okay, what we're going to do is I'll quickly go through the events. Yeah, we'll do them now, yeah, and then we'll get on to Alison.
I need coffee. Do
you want to go and quickly do yourself a coffee?
Yes.
And we'll see you after these few news items, she says.
We've got all the news right here. Don't go away.
Fed up of wading through the activities and events that other advertisers include? Find just what you're looking for at paranormaleventsreview.com, your one-stop paranormal directory.
On the 8th of the 3rd, Prestige Paranormal are doing a ghost hunt, dinner, barbecue and history tour at Gregginhouse Castle in Powys. Also on the 8th, there's a psychic night at the Costa Coffee Shop in Chelmsford Town Centre, Chelmsford. And on the 9th of March, UK Shadow Seekers are going to the Stockport Masonic Guildhall in Stockport. Weekend of the 9th of March is a Mind, Body and Spirit Fair at Willoughby Manor Hotel in Hull. And on the weekend of the 16th of March, there's a Mind, Body and Spirit Fair at Elscar Heritage Centre in Barnsley. And on the 16th of the 3rd, you can have the Pendle Hill Experience with DI Paranormal UK at Pendle Hill in Sabden. Also on the 16th of the 3rd, there's the monthly psychic one-to-one readings with Neil Munnerley and Suzanne Lilly. Just go to Neil Munnerley's website for more details. On the 22nd of the 3rd, there's a psychic night at the Forest Glade Football Club in Billericay. On the 23rd of the 3rd, DI Paranormal UK are going to Morecambe Winter Gardens in Morecambe. Also on the 23rd, Spirit Watch Ghost Hunting Experience are off to Pendle Hill in Sabden.
So check out the one-stop paranormal directory for more investigations and events available now. ParanormalEventsForYou.com also offers banner advertising for only £10 per year. See our website for more details. ParanormalEventsForYou.com, your one-stop paranormal directory. Yeah, welcome back to the show. Hope you can all hear us okay. We've got Alison ready, waiting for us on the line. So hope you can all hear us okay. Good night, Stuart. Don't forget, if you do want a reading tonight, she is on hand. I think Skype would be better. So, and if you have got a camera, it'll be a hell of a lot better as well. So let's just see. Are you there, Alison?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, Suzanne.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. My voice is going a bit.
Pardon?
My voice is going a little bit.
Is it? Yeah, Steve's had a bit of a cold the last couple of days. So, but can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yep.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Neil's just gone down to get a coffee. He shouldn't be too long.
Okay, tell him to get me one while he's at it then.
Right, so let me see what we got here. Thank you very much for having me on the show. Don't be strangers. You're always welcome in Burton. Look after yourself. Night, Chris. Good night, Chris. Nice to see you again. Or speak to you again. Okay. Right. So, what have you been doing, Alison?
What have I been doing? Well, I've written since the last time I spoke to you. I'm the author of my first book, The Quirky Medium, which took up 100% of my time, to be quite honest, but it's doing really well, selling really well, particularly on Amazon. I do quite a lot of the Mind, Body and Spirit fairs in the northwest of England. Did one last weekend which went really well. Gave a talk about me and my book, Cosmic Ordering, Synchronicity, you name it. I carrying on doing my readings like I normally do, and my Reiki healing. And I've also got a couple of workshops coming up. I've got an angel breath workshop coming up and a spirituality workshop, which is for people who want to know what spirituality is all about, but they're not quite sure what subject they want to learn about. So it's going to be basically a little bit of everything. And I also do one-to-one spiritual development and angel tuition as well. So I've been quite busy, but like I say, the book was the thing that took up the majority of my time, but it's it's doing really well. So I am like really pleased that I actually got my bum in gear and and got it finished.
Okay. So these workshops you're doing, whereabouts are you holding them?
Right, well, at the moment I'm doing them in my hometown of Northwich, but basically I could carry them, I could do them anywhere, if there was enough people anywhere in the country, then, if people want to contact me and say they've got, about 8 people at least then that want to do a workshop, then I'd be happy to travel.
So John's just said he's enjoying the book. Thank you for signing it for him.
Oh God! Oh yes, I know John. Yes, he's very welcome. I'm glad he's enjoying it anyway.
Yeah, he's been bragging it to us for ages. So, because that's my brother-in-law, as you remember. I believe you met a friend of ours recently at the latest MBS, Simon Goodfellow.
Oh, I didn't know Simon was a friend of yours.
Yeah, I've seen him on many an MBS. So, yeah, he's not too bad, Simon. He's always off abroad somewhere. But
well, he's still he lives in Spain, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has got a place over there.
Yeah. Oh no, I know Simon quite well. He doesn't do, like me, he doesn't do every Mind, Body and Spirit fair, but he does do a few of them. So I'm always made up to see his name there. He's a genuine guy and I like him a lot. We had a very interesting talk last weekend at the show. Yeah, he's supportive of what I do and I'm supportive of him as well. Nice to meet someone genuine like Simon,
What's your next MBS that you're on?
It'll be Knutsford in July this year.
Right.
So I'll have to have a look at the actual dates. And then if I do any between now and then, I'll let you know, Suzanne. But at the moment, because I've been so busy, I'm trying to fit everything in, and I'm trying to be everywhere for everybody all of the time, and you know what that's like, don't you?
You're telling me, yeah.
Because I've picked a card for you actually, and I've actually got like a premonitions list. I'm pretty sure it's for you.
Okay.
Because what they've done is they've given me a list of information for somebody that I'm going to do a reading for.
Yeah.
And obviously I never know who I'm going to do the readings for, so it can be a bit sporadic, and it could be for a number of people for the list, but some of the things I just felt were for you. So if people don't ring in, or only a couple of people ring in and we've got time, then I might be able to do a little reading for you if you'd like that.
Definitely. So, we'll see what happens. If anyone wants to have a reading, and they've got Skype. You said Skype was better with a camera, didn't you?
Yeah, I can see you. I can see half of you.
So
I can see the gentleman in front of me. Hello, having his cup of coffee.
Sorry, did you want one?
But
yeah.
no, I'll move over in a bit. So when you come to reading me, but if anyone in the chat room would like a reading, please contact me and let me know on there, and we'll contact you. But you've got to be on Skype, and you've got to have a camera so that Alison can see you. Okay, but you're going to read Neil for us, aren't you? This is Neil.
Hi.
This is Neil. Hello, Neil.
This is Alison. So,
Suzanne, I was just going to say, it doesn't have to be Skype. I mean, I like to see the person because I can sort of make a connection with them instantly.
Yeah.
But I have done readings on air before where I've not seen the people, so I can do it either way. And obviously, if there's quite a few people that want readings, then they're going to be literally, a few minutes each. And if people want if they want like a general reading, then that's fine. If they want an answer to a specific question, if they tell us what that is, and then I'll do the cards for that.
Okay. Can you hear me now, Doc? Is that okay? Your voice is very low.
Yeah, Doc Savage from Minnesota. He's trying to work out your accent, Alison.
Oh, right. I'm trying to work out my accent. Well, I'm from the northwest of England. I'm from a town called Runcorn in Cheshire, but I live in Northwich at the moment. So some people, when I go abroad, people think that I'm from Liverpool, which I'm not, but I think there's sort of like a little bit of a Scouse twang in there somewhere. I'm not as broad as people from Liverpool, but that's where I'm from anyway, from Runcorn. It's all in the book. Right. You've got to read the book.
well, he's from Minnesota in the US, so he might not have that on his reading list yet.
Okay, I'm just hoping everyone can hear me. Somebody can't hear me. Somebody said I'm fine. Okay, right. Charlotte said he would like a reading, but his Skype is down still. But would be interesting. One of the guys in the chat room said he would like a reading, but his Skype's down. So, but
yeah, that's all right. I can go ahead with that.
Right,
what's the gentleman's name?
His name's Neil. No, he's not. Sorry, that's you.
It's
not Neil.
His name's Nigel.
His name's Nigel.
Just forget about me.
Yeah, you're supposed to be doing Neil first.
That's okay. We can get back to Neil.
We'll get back to Neil. But I say I can get Nigel on the phone. That's not a problem. So you can speak if that's all right.
Yeah, because it would be good to actually talk to the person, because then I can work on their voice vibration.
Right.
And what I'll do is I'll start by doing the cards, and then if Spirit gives me anything else, then that's fine. I'll do that. But literally, probably about 5 minutes at the most, do you think?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Do you want to do Neil first, and then we'll sort out and see if we can get Nigel to get his phone sorted out and do it that way? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So take it away. Neil, speak to Alison.
So is this a gentleman is this you that I can see in front of me now?
It is.
Hi. Right, okay. Well, just, if I give you names that you recognise, let me know. And any names that you don't will be names coming in.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I usually get quite a lot of names, so you have to bear with me. Some you'll recognise, some you won't. But I think what we'll do to start with, we'll do your cards, to start with. So if you just bear with me, if you start to think of something that you'd like an answer to, or if you just want a general reading, then I will, do your cards and I'll read those out to you. And I'll work with Spirit as well.
Okay. Because
the cards for me are just a guide anyway. As I'm looking looking at you, I keep getting the name Alan. I've got Alan straight away. So I don't know if that's somebody you know now or whether it's somebody coming in. Bear in mind that Alan may not be a Christian name. Got a jumping card there. It could even be a surname as well.
Can't place it.
Right, okay. You will do. It will come in. Okay, because I've got a lot of stuff coming in for people. Now, one of you two, I don't know which one of you two it's for, but one of you is a healer. So I don't know whether you heal now or whether you've been told that before. So I don't know if it's for you or Suzanne. That was on my predictions list that I had before.
I'm not a healer.
I can do it. I can do it.
Right, okay. Well, this is a really good spread. This is all about abundance. Okay. So it's the inflow of abundance, and I feel a hell of a lot of work that you put into something, and you've got to the stage where you're thinking, oh God, I'm putting so much work in and I'm not actually getting that much back at the moment.
Yeah.
But just carry on the way you are, because you will reap the benefits from that. There's definitely an inflow of abundance coming in, and there will be a promising business venture. If that hasn't already happened, that's coming in also. There will be important documents or contracts to sign. All right.
Okay.
And I would actually say, be careful before you sign on the dotted line that you do read the small print there. Okay. There will be a successful completion of a project. Okay. And intimate relationship. So I don't know if this is a relationship that you're already in now or one coming in, but intimate relationships. And also decisions that you've got to make, and you're being asked to carefully weigh those decisions up to go with your heart and your gut feeling before you do go ahead and make those decisions. Okay. Good health. You are generally in good health, but you do work too hard. Okay. So you need to bring your inner child out to play a little bit more. Right. All right. Because you do put 100% into everything that you do.
I do, yeah.
For some people, they don't actually think that you do, and I feel awful saying that, but it's like, because you do it with ease and with flair, people think, oh, you can't be that busy, but you actually are, and it amazes people as to how much you do fit into your day.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, somebody being unable or unwilling to make a decision, so I don't know if this is something around you now or something to come in, but I do feel that you're going to help that person to come to the right decision, and to actually go with their heart when they actually do decide what it is that they're going to do. A relationship that grows stronger, okay, and there is some forgiveness that you need to send out to either a situation or a person, whether this is in the past or around you now, but there needs to be forgiveness there. Do you understand that? And I've also got the name Michael coming in.
Michael.
And the number 10 is significant. Okay. Now, with the numbers, it can either be the number on a door, the 10th month or the 10th of a month.
Okay.
And if it's not an anniversary or a birthday now, then it's going to be significant when that comes in. Okay.
Yeah.
I've also got the 9th, on or around the 9th of November will be significant in some way.
Okay.
On or around the 9th of November. Okay. And it's like, I don't know if this is a saying of yours or this is a saying of somebody else's in the spirit world. When you ask them something, when you said, well, when's that going to happen? They would always say, well, how long's a piece of string?
Okay.
So who's that said that?
Who says that?
It's not exactly said like that, but it is along the right lines. I don't always give the proper answer.
Right, okay, that's what I could hear from Spirit, that's what they've actually given me.
Yeah.
And who always like to play dominoes? I can see dominoes, you know, I can see like the oblong black with the white dots on, that's what I can see.
I do remember somebody many, many years ago, but I can't remember who that was. But I do remember.
And I've also got the name Chris coming in. Chris coming in.
I know a few Chris's.
All right. Well, you'll know if it's one of the Chris's that you know. You will know what it is because it's going to be something significant around them that they will share with you, or some news around them in some way. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is strange. I mean, I do get some odd things. I want to say a lost shoe.
A lost shoe.
And I don't know, a lost shoe. And you will know that when that comes in. I don't know if it's like somebody looking, or it's got to be around you, looking for your shoes, but only finding one and not being able to find the other. So there's just the one shoe. And then you will eventually find the other, but when you do find the other, it's like you'll come across something else. It's really, really strange.
It's a dog ad.
I can't place that.
It's a dog ad.
Could be one of the kids.
I've said this.
Pardon?
Like, so when you'll be just in a panic looking for them, and you'll just find it's either you or somebody very close to you. Where's my shoes? Where's my shoes? And then when they found them, or when you do, it's just the one and you can't find the other. Okay.
I'll keep that in mind. Yeah.
Right.
I can't.
Also, April is very significant around you.
April. Yes.
April.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you understand that?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. And I've also got the name Tom as being significant.
Yeah.
Tom, you understand that? Okay, that's good. Right, do you want me to do some more cards for you?
Please.
Yeah, okay. It's just, you're going to let us know, Suzanne, when this gentleman comes through.
Yeah, I can give him a ring in a minute, so as soon as you've finished, I can sort something out.
There's a lot of changes around you, like new beginnings. There are new ventures coming in, okay?
Yeah.
And there's something coming in that you haven't actually thought about. It's going to be something, quite new and quite refreshing. And your instant reaction will be, oh, I don't know if I want to do that, or I don't know if I'm going to be good at that, but go with it because it's coming for the right reasons.
Okay.
So, have a bit of confidence with this.
Okay.
And you'll enjoy it. And I feel that whatever this is, the name David links in.
Right, yeah, okay.
The name David.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I said Melanie to you, do you understand who Melanie is? Mel.
No, can't place it.
Okay. Right, well you will do then, because if you can't place it now, then they will be coming in.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many people that we meet in our lifetime, and as a clairvoyant, I got a lot of stuff coming in for people.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can see a dog being taken for a walk. Is this your dog, or am I going back with this?
No, it's probably the dog I've got now. Yeah.
Your dog. Okay. With a very waggy tail.
Yes.
Okay, it's definitely yours. Okay. Just bear with me while I turn your cards over. Feel, as I'm turning these over, that luck will be on your side, and I want to say, oh, it's about time. Do you understand that?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said before at the beginning of the reading, actually you do reap what you sow. So there is actually a material harvest coming in.
Okay.
And like with the first cards that I did, nymph of abundance, which is generally the same thing.
Yeah.
So, in other words, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Okay.
Okay.
There is harmony. There is harmony, particularly with you and another. And I want to go back to what I was saying before about a relationship.
Yeah.
So either a relationship that's going to be rekindled, or something about a relationship where it will grow. But I feel spiritually it will grow. Oh.
Okay.
And you're also being asked to be grateful for what it is that you've actually built up in your life. So foundations and achievements, and actually looking at, in other words, giving yourself a pat on the back for what you've actually done in your life.
Yeah.
And actually feeling grateful for the people that are around you for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. But you really must try and rest and rejuvenate. It's really important. I don't feel that you get much of that at all. And like I say, people think it's done with needs, and they think, well, how can he have that much to do? But you do, but somehow you fit it in. And it's like you can't be everywhere for everybody all of the time.
Yeah.
But it's like you're burning the candle at both ends, so you are being asked to rest and rejuvenate. And I feel that when you do, there will be something that comes within that where you will get this brilliant idea, or certain things will slot into place and you'll know where you're going.
Okay.
But the angels and your spirit guides are actually guiding you and helping you along your life's path anyway.
Yeah.
Do you notice the signs that they're giving you along the way?
Yes, I do, yes.
Okay, that's fantastic. So you do sit up and take notice then, don't you?
I certainly do that, yeah.
Okay, then Alison, is that one done?
Yeah, that's fine. Were you happy with that?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot there that's, in fact, sort of 90% of that's already happened. It's already started, so good. That's what you're picking up on there. So yeah, that's good.
Fabulous. There's a lot of new stuff coming in as well for you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for that, Alison.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you take care.
You too. Thanks.
Okay, Nigel, are you there, my love?
I'm Sue, hi.
Hiya. Can you hear him all right there?
I can hear you, but when I was listening to Alison earlier, I couldn't, it was very faint on the phone. I don't know whether...
Right, okay. Well, can you pass me that mic over as well? So that Alison can hear him, just to make sure. Right, can you speak, please, Nigel?
Yeah, I was just going to see if I could turn the volume up on the phone, actually. I don't know if I can or not, but...
Right, okay.
Can you hear me okay, yeah?
Can you hear him okay, Alison?
It's a bit muffled, but I think he just said that he's going to turn the volume up on his phone. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. I can just about hear him.
Right,
Yep,
okay.
yeah. Is that any better?
Is that better?
Yes, a lot.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay, Nigel, you are now talking to Alison.
Okay, hi Alison.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, yeah. And you
Well, I
too?
might have fun and games in a minute because my cat's cavorting all over here and she's going to probably end up jumping on the computer in a minute, so you'll have to bear with me.
It's fine, yeah, it's okay.
It's funny because she always wants to be by me when I'm doing readings or when I'm doing some of my workshops and stuff. It's like she likes the angelic energies and, that I work with. Right, is it a general reading that you would like today?
Yeah, I have got something in mind, and I'm just wondering if it'd be possible for you to, but don't worry if you can't, if you could pick up on it, it's a little bit of direction with something that's quite important to me, and some of the people, Sue and Steve in the hub and that, do know about this particular thing, I just wonder if it'd be possible for you to, give a little bit of guidance on it.
Right, so you want me to see if Spirit gives me what it is that you're talking about, or did
I know
you
it's very difficult because it's such a narrow thing to
I don't want to know what it is.
You feel it is,
we'll
you go
see
ahead
if it
with
comes out
them,
in the
it may be
reading, and
relevant,
basically with the reading, if Spirit want you to know the answer to something, they will give the answer to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it's the answer to something, you have to work part of it out yourself.
That's
so
right.
what we'll do is, I'm hoping that this will give you some guidance. So, are you okay if I turn over the cards for you?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Right, this is... right, okay. I feel like I'm telling a story here. This is like, oh, I like this. This is, right, okay. Well, first of all, you're being told not to give up. Do you understand that?
I do, yes, yeah.
Yeah, don't give up and protect that which you've created. So something you've created or thought of or want in your life, you've actually put the wheels in motion. It's not finished yet, but you're being asked to have courage and believe in yourself. Do you understand that?
I do, yep.
Okay. There is a need for balance and moderation in your life at the moment, and there will have to be cooperation and compromise.
Right.
Right. And basically, I want to say, with that balance and everything else that I've been giving you, that it's all about divine timing. Okay, it's got to be when the time is right.
Yes, I understand that.
All right. I do feel, though, that your loved ones in the spirit world are orchestrating something for you, and I do feel it's around a certain situation where you put a lot of hard work in. Do you understand that?
Yeah, that sounds very sounds relevant, definitely.
Right, okay. There is going to be some good news, if not already, about financial matters.
Right.
And it's you generally wanting to do something more challenging as well.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And there will be a new area of study, so you will be learning something new.
Right, that's really relevant for me, yeah.
Right, okay. And, brilliant new ideas and inspirations, so basically it'll be as if those ideas have just literally popped into your head. But obviously, your guides and your angels are actually giving you those ideas and helping to guide you along your life's path. But also, it's seeing the truth in a situation as well.
That's
seeing
really
the
relevant
truth.
what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah. And you felt that you've had a challenging beginning with this or something else that's around you.
Right.
Okay. But as I say, I will reiterate, don't give up, because you've got to protect everything and have courage and believe in yourself.
But just
and it's like
the situation is happening at the moment, yes, yeah.
Yeah, right, okay. You've literally come into your own. That's basically what they're saying here. And there will be new partnerships or contracts as well.
That's interesting, yeah.
And you will continue to move forward.
Good.
Yeah?
I see nice positive news there, yeah, that's really good.
Okay, so was that okay? Oh, and also I've got the name Jim or James that link in with you either now or coming in.
Yeah, I do know James, yeah.
James. And also the 12th of March is very significant. It's either somebody's birthday or... Do you understand?
Fully, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Right, okay, good. I'm glad you understand that. So have I got a little bit longer, Suzanne, with this gentleman or not?
You can if you want. We've got not one person ready for Skype, so.
Right, okay. Do you want me to just pick an angel card for you?
That would be lovely, thank you, yeah.
Yeah, just because I've been talking about the angels, because I do feel that they are around you and that they are helping to guide you along your life's path.
Thank you.
Okay. Particularly Archangel Gabriel, and when Archangel Gabriel steps onto your path, you actually move forward quite quickly.
That's right.
So get ready for that.
Right. Does that mean that I would have to work with that angel if he was, is it just that he's there helping me on, whatever the situation is?
Sorry, I couldn't hear that.
You said, does that mean that he's actually helping him?
Yes.
Or is it that he has to allow him to work with him?
Well, I would say that the angels are already working with you in general, and particularly Archangel Gabriel of the White Ray, who will help to guide you along your path quite quickly. And I feel that you allow the angels to work with you anyway.
Right. Thank you very much for that. That's really good, yeah.
Okay.
Now, within this card, this angel card, I don't know whether you... And it is actually the sort of Archangel Gabriel anyway, which is funny because that's what I've already given you, but that's what they do to us.
Yeah.
I've actually got new partner for you. Now, this could mean in any shape, way or form. I don't know whether you understand that at the moment. And it will be a chance meeting if it's not already happened. Okay?
Right.
It's the celestial realms that have actually set the wheels in motion for the fruition of your prayers. So I feel that I don't know if you've been praying or you've been asking, but not quite sure who you've been asking to help you with this. But what I want to say to you is they've heard you, and there will be somebody coming into your life, if not already, that will be literally like a breath of fresh air that will help you with this. Do you understand that?
I do fully, thank you. That's really good, yeah.
All right then, you take care.
Thank you, Alison. That sounds really positive for me, which is, and I do feel that what you said there does fit with the situation fairly well, yeah?
All right then.
So you're happy
You
with
take
that?
care.
Thanks a lot then, Nigel.
Okay, thank you, love. Cheers.
Bye.
Yep, bye.
Bye.
Right, so that was Nigel. He was quite
Yeah.
happy with that. Can I swap places?
Good.
I just need to get you another one. This time on Skype. Play musical chairs here. So, okay. So what we'll do is we'll do Andy in a minute via Skype. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's okay. And then maybe,
Yeah, of course. It is.
maybe you can give me and Steve a quickie. And then next
Yeah.
time.
We like cookies, don't we?
Right, okay.
You do say the most wonderful things, you know that.
Steve's eyes just twinkled then.
Right, so are you ready for me to add Andy to this conversation?
Yeah. So who am I do the reading for? Andy, did you say?
Yeah, you're doing it for Andy. Sorry, didn't have a mic in front of me, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're doing it for Andy. So I'm going to bring him into the conversation for you, okay?
Oh.
Right. We'll just ring him. Hopefully. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, Andy, you there? Andy, can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, Andy's done it already.
Hello?
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just trying to switch me camera on.
Right, it's saying I need...
Suzanne, it doesn't matter if Andy can't switch his camera on. It doesn't matter as long as I can hear his voice.
Okay, as long as he can hear your voice, she can hear your voice, Andy. Okay, so if you want to talk to Alison, all right?
Yeah.
Hello, Andy.
Hello.
Right, if you can speak up so that I can hear you properly.
1 second, I'll just...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me alright now?
Yeah, I can just about, yeah. So are you happy if I go ahead with the reading for you then?
Yes, yes.
Okay, what I'm doing is I'm actually choosing some cards for you.
Okay. Just got to turn the volume down on my computer because I'm getting bleed back and I'm hearing the conversation twice.
Yeah, that'd be a better idea, Andy. Just mute the show.
Yeah, that's it. I've got it now. The conversation over there's catching me up.
Right, just bear with me because I'm just confused now. Right, Andy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Right, okay, so I'm still doing the cards, but what I have actually got is something that you want an answer to, or something that you're looking for, and you're being told that the answer's within. So it's something that you will find an answer out to yourself. You won't need to ask anybody else or to go looking for the answer. And also, basically what they're saying to me is try not to look too far ahead and try not to look for the end result to a situation as to how you think it'll turn out. Just go with the flow and things will turn out in the right way without you doing anything about it. Do you understand that?
I do, yeah. There's a couple of things on my mind, but that particular one, yeah.
Right, okay. So that's a big one for you. And it's like, I do feel there's, your loved ones in the spirit world are around you in a protective way. But I feel there's a lady in the spirit world and she's wagging a finger at you and she's saying, well, stop it and stop worrying and things will be all right, okay?
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
And if I gave you the name Alice, do you understand who that was or who that is?
Let me think now. I'm trying to think now. I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I mean, some of the stuff that give you, want to get on a roll, some of the stuff you'll realise when you come off the phone with me what it is. And then other stuff, if you don't recognise it's coming in because as a clairvoyant, I do get stuff that's coming in for people as well, which they tend to like, because that's the part of the reading where they are actually guided as to where they need to go. Because basically a lot of people are looking for answers, and that's why I'm a medium, so I get messages direct from the spirit world, but the clairvoyant side is all about clear vision and seeing what's coming in the future, and that's what people need to know. They need to know where they're going, what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, now then, this is all about money, and I'm not too sure whether it's whether you're spending too much money or you're sort of saving for a rainy day, but there's something to do with money. I don't know if it's like whether it's a business venture, because with that I've actually got a good business decision coming in. So something about a good business decision. Okay.
That does, that does make sense.
It makes sense. And also, you're being asked, when you're making decisions, to be very objective. So objective decision making.
Right.
And also, there's stuff that's still around you. I feel what I actually wanted to say when I first heard your voice was, you're such a lovely chap. You're there for everybody, but people sometimes do, drain you or put on you. So basically you're being asked to clear away everything that doesn't serve you. So in other words, you're holding on to something either from the past or around you now, but basically now you really do need to let go of that. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay. And also seeing the humour in a situation. So, either go out and have a good night out, let your hair down and have a good laugh, or actually a situation that hasn't been so pleasant, but later on you'll be looking back and you'll see the humour in it. And it sounds mad that, when I say that, but I've done it myself, something that's really aggravated or really hurt me. And a few months down the line, I've looked back and thought, you know what, I've actually found that quite funny now. So it's actually, reaching inside, finding the answers from within, and actually, having a bit of laughter along the way and seeing humour in a situation.
Yeah, that does make sense, yeah.
Okay. But I have to say, people do respect you in general. But you do need to defend your beliefs and decisions. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. This is your life and these are your decisions, okay? So you are being asked to stand your ground and choose your battles wisely. Do you understand that?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Right. There's a celebration coming in. Either a wedding or a graduation or a birth announcement. And also the need to have more fun that we've just spoken about, sort of laughter coming in. But I also feel around you, rebirth, starting all over again in some respects. So it's like, I want to say transformation, so new things coming in around you, but you do need to box off that which is, that you've been held on to that you no longer need. So getting rid of the old, in other words, and looking forward to the new coming in. All right.
Yeah.
And also there will be abundance coming in once you've sorted all that out. So like I say, a little bit of work that you need to do yourself, but I do feel that you will get help with that. I feel that somebody on the earth plane is going to help you with this, as well as your loved ones in the spirit world. And also, when I was talking about rebirth and transformation, it's actually literally giving birth to your dreams. So whatever it is that you want to do, then go out there and reach for that star and actually, sort of give birth to your dreams. And also it's all about looking after yourself, so you need to look after yourself and nurture yourself as well as your loved ones around you. Okay.
That's unbelievable.
Now October as well is significant around you. And who's selling the house at the moment? I can see a for sale sign.
House sale.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure of that one.
All right, you might not be aware of it then. Maybe it might be something that somebody's going to be telling you in the next week or so.
Right.
I do see a for sale sign, and there's lots of I can see lots of trees around the house. So whether this is the house that the people are moving out of or the house that they're moving into, I don't know. But I can see a number 4 in there. So a number 4 on the door, either a number 4 on its own or with other numbers, but definitely a number 4 in there somewhere.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that's obviously something coming in if you don't understand that at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Some of it is, some of it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what I always say to people is, you know, when I do one-on-one readings, because I generally do one-on-one, face-to-face private readings with people, and they generally last an hour, the reading, so they have a really, really good reading. Some stuff around them from the past, the present, and the future. And I always say to people, particularly the stuff that I get coming in that you don't recognise, write it down, because things tend to come in pretty quickly with me.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, some things will start coming in more or less straight away, and others will take a little bit longer.
Right.
But I have regular clients that come back to me time and time again, and I just find it uncanny some of the things that Spirit give me that I give them, and I think, oh my goodness, you know, that's not really bizarre, and it comes in for them in some shape, way, or form.
Right.
So. Right, so have we got time for me to do a couple more cards for this gentleman?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Right.
Working on your time, Alison.
Pardon?
We're working on your time, my love.
Yeah, oh, that's fine. I just thought if there's anybody waiting, you know, I want
only me and Steve.
to have a go. Okay. Right, okay. You need to ground yourself. Do you know how to do this?
Ground? No, I'm not sure.
Right, okay, because there are certain people around you, or people that, you know, you've met in the past or around you now, that drain you. And you know, you can, you know, some people, when you're in their company, you really can feel a little bit drained, as if they've sapped you with your energy. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine tree roots growing from the soles of your feet and linking in with Mother Earth. And that's called grounding or earthing. And there's another word for it, anchoring. So it's actually grounding your body and, you know, making sure that you're aligned, so that, you know, you're not sort of like float. You know, sometimes if your mind's overactive, your mind's so cluttered that you can't think straight and you don't feel focused.
I do get like that, yeah.
So after you've done the grounding, if you imagine a ball of white light over the top of your head that opens and comes down, and that white light swirls around your body, that means that you've got a psychic shield around you as well, of that lovely white light. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And if you do that every day, then you'll find that you'll be able to deal with things in a more focused way, and that people won't be draining you or trying to influence what it is that you really want to do. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Because you feel there has been quite a bit of mental conflict going on just lately. Do you understand that?
Sorry, what was that?
A bit of mental conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it happens to a lot of us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But there's either something that you're waiting for, as in something new, or something around you now that you want to know, you know, what the end result's going to be. So there's a little bit of a waiting game going on here, okay? And if you ground yourself and put your white light around yourself, then you won't be thinking or worrying so much about it. And I also have the fertility card, which either means that there will be news of a birth, or it's talking about fertility as in rebirth, as in something new for you and your immediate family and those around you. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And also I have the Love Begins card. Now, love begins, it can either be a new relationship with a person or a new relationship with yourself. Because basically, you know, you can't help others if you don't love yourself. or have confidence in yourself. So I will just give that to you, and you will understand, you know, the meaning behind that particular message.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So has that been all right for you?
That's been spot on. That it's my first time this, and I've got to admit I'm shocked.
Oh.
I've never done anything like this. My wife's into it, and she's just recently had one done with Sue, and the results were absolutely flabbergasting.
Good.
It's
and there was a lot of crossover there as well, Andy, with what Alison was saying.
What Alison was just saying then, a lot of it is tying in with what you told me as well. It's I'm just sat here at the moment trying to pick my jaw back up off the floor. Never had anything like this done before, so
I don't know. Well, thanks a lot, Andy.
Thank you, Alice.
Can you disconnect for me, please? Because something's come up and I'm not sure about. All right.
Bye, Andy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye now.
Well.
He was pleased with that, wasn't he, Suzanne?
He was very pleased. So,
good.
You know, but as I say, see if I can cancel this and get you back up again.
As long as we can hear each other, can't we?
Yeah. So I'm sure it will come up sooner or later. It says he's still on there at the moment. Here we go. Let's see what we've got here. Turn on my camera. I know it's turned off. That's better. Okay. Right. We have been asked a question. I don't know whether you can answer it or not.
I'll do that.
John's asked whether his court case that he's doing, whether it would be a success or not, or a waste of time.
Right. Okay. Now they may answer this, they may not.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll do his cards and see if that comes out within the cards.
Oh, okay.
And if he wants me to, I can use the pendulum, but the only thing with the pendulum is it will give a yes or no answer, and people may not necessarily like the answer that it gives, so it's whether he's prepared for that. If he definitely wants to know either way. But I'll do the cards first, because they are a bit of a guide.
Right, okay.
To this. Okay. What I want to do as well is, when I've done this, Suzanne, I want to tell you what I've got written down, because obviously I don't know who it's for. I do feel some of it is for you.
Yeah.
Because these are the predictions that I've written down. And who is it that's a healer, or I keep getting this, or who have been told that they have got healing cards? Oh, I've got a jumping card.
That could be my husband.
Right, okay, because I've got Archangel Raphael, and I'll read you the angel card after, because I do feel it's either you or somebody close around you. Okay.
Your camera seems to have gone off.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't know why. It might be because it was a what's name group. Let me ring you back again, alright, while you're fiddling, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
It might be because of the conference call. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Just ring her back.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, it's coming through now. That's better.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably my Steve.
Yeah, now, it probably is. Now, with John, you see, it's difficult sometimes, because I don't answer a direct question like that, because obviously I can only go with what Spirit gives me, and, you know, what I turn over with the cards. But there is usually an answer in there somewhere. And also, when you think of court cases, because I used to work for the police, even if we use the pendulum, it may change because it may get to a point where things are going his way. Then there may be a little bit of a setback, which means that the answer would be no. Then there might be something, there might be a lead, so it starts to move forward again and it looks like it's in his favour, so the answer might be yes. So really, it's what I'll do is I'll do the cards and see if the answer comes out in these. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So is John? Can I hear John's voice, or is he?
No, he's just asked a question. John's the guy that you sent the book to, my brother-in-law.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, what I'll do then is I'll just is he listening in?
Yes, he is.
Okay, right, hiya John, I know I can't hear your voice, but I'm just going to give you this, and I know that you've heard what I've said already. Things will be changing, and basically, you know, all I will ask you with this is to, you know, have faith and have courage, and I do feel that things will work out. What I want you to do, though, is I do want you to ask the angels to help with this. I don't know if you believe in the angels, but basically they won't always intervene because we have free will. So ask the angels for this to come to, you know, for the decision to be made, the right decision to be made with this, for the good of all concerned. But there is, you're being asked to seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So basically, I do feel that there will be new people coming in around you for the right reasons, because there's something about certain people haven't been around you for the right reasons, and I feel that they're now moving away, or you're pulling away from them. So there's like distance between you now. Does that make sense, Suzanne? Because I can't hear his voice, but do you understand?
I think it does, actually, to be honest with you.
Okay, but John, you are being asked to look at things from a different perspective, and that this is a temporary standstill. Okay, so I do feel that things will be moving forward, but you are being asked to be yourself and have confidence in yourself and belief in yourself. Okay, and then once things start moving, that they will start moving at a fast pace, and the delays will be over. Okay, and then eventually it'll get to a stage where there'll be many things happening at once. All right.
Okay. Right.
I feel by September, John will turn around and look back and think, well, thank God that's over, and, you know, actually be relieved that he's got through it, and actually proud of himself and giving himself a pat on the back for being strong throughout. It's a case of he sometimes doesn't think he's as strong as he actually is, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. I do feel that he's been knocked down quite a bit. And, you know, his loved ones in the spirit world are around him, and they're actually willing him to go on, and they are actually helping him as well. There. Okay.
Is that in general, or is that with the court case itself? Because he hasn't actually...
I feel that this is in general, but I feel that that's there in the middle of it. So that's sort of part of it all. Okay. And there's new opportunities coming in. Is he looking at a different career?
No, I don't think so.
Right, okay, well, if it's not about a career then, there's new opportunities coming in then. They're not telling me, but I do see that it's a step in the right direction. But I do feel it is to do with work. Right. Might not be a complete career change, but something to do with work.
Okay.
Okay, so, you know, and also receiving a loan or paying off debt. So, I want to say that things will get boxed off, but I still feel there's something that he needs to be doing himself. I feel there's something that he might have been putting off, that he needs to box off.
Okay, he's got to box it off.
That might be why everything's feeling a little bit stagnant around him, so he does need to not stick his head in the sand, and he needs to get that done so that he can then start to move on and things will start slotting into place.
Okay. No problem.
Alright.
Right, so just before you go on to the card that you had for me and the healing bit, as I say, that could be Steve, Nigel's asked me to just explain that a little bit about what you was talking about. Nigel's written a book about a portal he's found in Settle.
About what?
A portal in Settle.
A portal?
Yeah. And his celestial
wow.
angels are all around him, and he feels as though he's got a new angel with him. So this would be the new person coming in. Yeah.
Wow.
And he said you were pretty much on the button with what you said. But it's obviously celestial-wise, and there's a lot of stuff coming up in the future. He's got a conference to go to in March, so maybe something's going to be offered in April, blah, 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 blah. So that's what that's all about. So... Okay, and John said thank you for that, by the way.
Very welcome.
And Andy said the same thing. It's like, wow.
He made me laugh, Andy, because he was like picking his jaw up from the floor.
I know. Bless him. I don't know. So anyway, what have you got this card about the healer? I'll turn my camera around a bit so you can see Steve.
Yeah, we've only got 10 minutes to the end of the show, haven't we? I did feel like to say that this you also. Oh, hello!
You didn't expect that, did you?
No, I looked up and there was two. No, there was
this is Steve, my husband.
Right, so this is Archangel Raphael, and he's the healer. Okay, he's of the green ray, and when we think about green, that is the healing colour anyway.
Yeah.
But basically, Archangel Raphael bringing healing, health, and abundance as well. It is a really, fortunate card. And also, are you developing in some way, intuitively or spiritually? There's something around...
Me?
You anyway, you are, because I've got stuff written down for you, but I feel your husband as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, okay. And also, I don't know if this is both of you or one of you, is going travelling, and also Archangel Raphael looks after travellers as well. Okay.
Well, we are going to Bran Castle in May in Romania to investigate it again.
Well, that's travelling then, isn't it? Well, I tell you what, if you're going somewhere like that, then you will need Archangel Raphael around you, won't you?
Definitely.
You'll need the healing of the angels around you. And you're being asked that when you need it, whether you go into sort of haunted places, which obviously you're doing your line of work, always imagine that colour green wrapping around you, because that's that green healing light. So visualise yourself surrounded by a clear green light and actually invoke the guidance of Archangel Raphael. All right. If you need, when you're at those places, if you need protection, then call an Archangel Michael. He's the leader of the archangels.
Uh-huh.
All right, and he is the protector as well. So yeah, definitely healing. But I feel that one of you is going to be, if not already, is going to be a healer. As in, it's a new area of study that you're going to do, and you're going to heal others. Okay. And I'm looking at hubby here because I feel that you've got healing hands. It's natural healing with you.
Yeah.
I work with energy quite easily.
Yeah.
Warm hands, and I can feel that, and I can see a lot of yellow around you, which means new knowledge. So there's a new area of study and learning coming in. Okay.
Yeah, Neil's about to take us into a new direction, so. But he keeps it under his hat, so I don't really find out about it.
How long's a piece of string?
How long's a piece of string? He said. Neil is actually a medium, a psychic medium.
All right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
And Nigel's just said that he's actually getting shivers as you talk to us. The energies are very strong, he said.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We've got that connection going on, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's these cards you picked up?
Now, I want to tell you what I've got written down. Now, some of the stuff is bizarre, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, and it's going to be for either you two or is it Nigel, the medium?
Neil.
Did you?
Neil.
Neil's with us, Nigel spoke to on the phone.
Yeah, so this is Neil.
Right, okay. It's Nigel. Was it Nigel that's the medium?
No, Neil.
Neil.
It's Neil that I spoke to first that I actually saw, isn't it?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because it was the guy that I was talking to.
Yeah.
Okay, right, so who's the link with Australia out of all of you?
Guilty.
Right.
Go, I got 2. Hold on. How strong's the link with Australia?
Right, I was just giving Australia as in there's links with Australia, so I didn't know whether it was like a family link or whether somebody was actually going to, actually travelling to Australia.
Right, okay.
But obviously, it's significant with what they've given me.
Okay.
And also, this is Neil, obviously with being a medium, so this makes sense, doesn't it? Such a strong, very, very strong intuition to the point of sensing when things are really wrong, and that really, really strong gut feeling, okay. And around people as well, knowing, when you first meet somebody and thinking, no, there's something not right about you, it's that inner side.
That's me. That's me, and Neil knows it.
She's done that many a time. Yep.
Okay, new ventures, but this could be for any of you, I suppose.
Yeah.
New ventures. And it's really weird though, with this, it's that they're actually saying to me, a road less travelled. I'm not quite sure what they mean by that, but I'm just going to give you that. I don't understand that, but I feel that whoever this is for, you will understand that when it actually comes in. Okay. And the Australia thing, I can see kangaroos bouncing around everywhere. I feel that one of you, or some of you as a group, are going to go. I think you're going to go there. All right.
That'll be you then.
That'll be me.
Now, with one of you, there's some patching things up, and I thought this was with a person or people. So maybe something that needs to be said, or something that needs to be dealt with, and patching it up. Do you understand that?
You're on the right lines. It's not exactly patching up, but it is being dealt with. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it was. That's how it's given to me, though. The way they actually give me things.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. You're on the right track. Yeah. That's
right.
Patching up. Yeah. Fine.
You know what I'm on about now. Yeah. We know what you're on about. He knows what you're on about now.
You on right?
I think so. Go on.
These are the mad things, but I'm going to give them to you anyway because they will mean something, and they might not come in the way that you would imagine.
Okay.
Grease lightning. So I don't know whether this is something. Grease lightning. It could be that something happens so quickly it's like grease lightning, or it's part of the song Grease Lightning.
Okay.
The Ministry of Silly Walks.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to give you that because it will come in some shape, way, or form.
I can already take the Ministry of Silly Walks.
So can I, actually. It's my son. But you can take it closer, can you? And he's laughing. Come on, indulge. Move into view.
Come on. Something we did in
Suzanne,
the military.
I'm intrigued.
It was something we did in the military, and we were on show, and we decided to do the Ministry of Silly Walks, and we were actually filmed doing it by the general public, and it just went. We all got in trouble, put it that way.
I just love it. I love it when they love. Okay. And Sylvia's mother, and I could hear the song, that Sylvia's mother said, Sylvia, that. So, who was? I'm trying to think who sang that. Who sang that? That's it. Yeah. So I don't know whether somebody's going to hear it or it's the name Sylvia that's significant, but that's what I could hear before. Right. And Ireland, there's a link with Ireland with one of you as well. Either you're going to go or an Irish connection in the family.
Yeah, I can take that.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot for you, Neil, aren't I?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the thing is, though, it's funny because when I've done readings for mediums before, or they've done readings for me, it's like you instantly have that connection, don't you? Because we're all so open.
I have been thrown it out as well. I've been thrown it out as well, Alison, so...
Yeah. Well, the new venture and the Grease Lightning, the only thing I can put it onto is the fact that I did a reading Monday, and within a few hours I thought I'm going to bite the bullet and put a site up. So whether that's... I've gone for it, and... I thought now it's the time to go out there, which you said is a new venture and everything else, so I'm wondering whether it's that.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
You know.
well done. Yeah,
But
absolutely. Yeah, you've got to go for it
I
and
just
believe
hope it works.
Of course it will. Just
So-
have that faith and belief in yourself, and it will, for definite.
That's the problem.
Well, thanks for inviting me back on the show. I thoroughly enjoyed
That's
it.
fine. What we're talking, 6 to 8 weeks, is it? 8 weeks,
Yeah,
6 weeks?
6 to 8 weeks.
So we'll
So
sort out a
if
date.
anybody listening wants to have a look at my website, it's www.alisonwynne-ryder.com, or you can follow me on Twitter, Rescue Medium Ali. And you know, I've really thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Well, it gives you a bit of practice as well, doesn't it?
I've done this before ever.
That's what I always say to myself. But no, seriously, it's been really good. I've really appreciated it, and you know, and as I say, you've been doing it long enough, haven't you? How long have you been doing it now?
I have. Oh God. Consciously, probably about 8 or 9 years. Unconsciously, from a child, without even realising. That's all my life, I would say. So
yeah. So.
All right then. So
Okay.
take
Well,
care.
thanks very much, and
All right,
we'll
then.
speak to you soon. Take care, and I will get to meet you personally sometime.
Yeah, that would be lovely. We'll go and have a drink or two.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks a lot, Alison. Good night.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Bye now.
Well, that was Alison Wynne-Ryder, and as she said, she'll be back in 6 to 8 weeks' time. So we'll, yeah, you will in a minute. Let me just check my mic. Can you hear me? Please say yes. I can hear me. So hopefully you can hear me, Doc. So, but yeah, that was really good, wasn't it?
That was fun.
Yes. I'm waiting for Doc to say yes. Tep. Yep. Okay. Where's Doc Savage?
It's the dyslexic keyboard again.
Where's Doc Savage? Can you hear me? Talk to me, Doc. Probably because he can't. See if Doc Savage can hear me.
I think somebody's sitting on his face.
Sitting on his
What?
face. What?
Well, have you not read the chat?
No, they never go through songs.
Yeah, it's the old one, isn't it? No, I'm not even going to say
Doc
it.
Savage, otherwise known as MN Pig, from Minnesota. What was Alison's website called? 2 seconds.
Rescue Medium Alison.
Yeah, Rescue Medium.
Ali is one.
Or Ali, is it?
Yeah, Rescue Mediums.
Rescue Mediums Ali.
You might have seen her on.
I might have seen her on Sky on Rescue Mediums.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it for you. Right, go to there. And just copy and paste this for you.
She's going to post that the Rescue Mediums Ali in there for you.
Can you ask Doc if he can hear me, because he's not come back?
Doc Savage, are you still with us, sir? Last thing he said was good show. I haven't seen it.
Oh no. Alison, if you just Google Alison Wynne-Ryder,
yeah, it'll come up quite
should
well.
come up. But we'll have a look. So I'm doing this as we speak. Here we go. The Quirky Medium. There she is, and that's the name of her new book. So let me put it in there as well.
Yeah, who John says is quite a good book, quite a good read.
Yeah.
And Mr. Neil, what did you
Yes.
think? What did you think of your little reading there? Because
it was a good connection.
Because it's not your way of doing things.
Well,
is
it still isn't. It still
Yeah.
isn't. I mean, to do a full blown read. I mean, you know me. I'm in there for an hour
Yeah.
plus sometimes. To get a very very deep reading, you have to be with somebody within a certain distance. To go reading, but general reading, very very good. You know, and
like she said, if she can see you, it's a lot better. You know what I mean? She can see into your eyes. I know
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
not getting
yeah.
the aura around you.
yeah, but she still had a good connection, even though there was no. You know,
Oh, yeah.
She did people on the phone there, but as long as the connection's good,
Yeah.
you know that's fine.
So
For-
is this? Hold on, there's a but. Go on, but
Go on.
away.
It's for a general reading.
Yeah, but has this changed your mind slightly about this kind of reading? That
Well,
it
no,
can
you
be
can't do a full blown reading
No,
on the
not a
phone.
full-blown, we're talking general.
Well, I've always said general,
Yeah,
but
right,
I've never said a full blown reading.
Right, okay.
I don't misquote myself, Suzanne. You must know that by now.
I know. But as I say, so I don't know whether there's any more questions. A lot of people are dwindling at the moment, but if there's any more questions for Neil before we go.
Come on, there must be something.
I don't know what happened to Doc Savage.
I don't know.
Come on, anything you want, as long as it's clean and paranormal.
So, Doc, where are you? But as I say, it's been a nice show actually. We've had a few questions. We've talked a couple of
It has been good. It's been a good show tonight.
So
that's actually the last thing that Doc said.
what was that? A good show.
Good
yeah.
show.
So that was probably it. Perhaps he said before that he was going.
I wouldn't actually know that one because I was over there a little bit, so I didn't see what was coming up.
Let me see what's got in here. Good show.
When was the last
God, all I can
exorcism you
hear
did?
is the song "Sit on My Face." Oh right, okay.
The last one I did would have been. I'm trying to think now. Where are we? 2013. So that would have been probably. It was either 1999 or 2000.
And
it was around there sometime.
Are you allowed to say where it was?
Nope. Sorry.
Are you allowed to say whether it was north, south, east, or west?
It was south.
In England.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. Ever worked with Ian Lawman on one?
No.
No. I think he's only come out recently, isn't he? Really?
Come out of the closet.
Well, over the last 10 years.
I don't know. Is he actually an exorcist, or is it just a portrayal?
It's a portrayal.
Is it?
Sorry. But I mean, that's just my,
my opinion.
My opinion.
So, but you know, but as I say, have you enjoyed the show tonight, guys?
The thing I will, one thing I will say, and the reason why I said that about Ian Lawman is that you never portray that to anybody. You never portray it on screen. You never come across with anything to do with that kind of work, and portray it in a way.
The thing is with exorcisms, I'll be honest with you, in my opinion, Andy, I don't know whether you've got the same philosophy or not, but when you do this sort of thing with exorcisms, it is a secretive thing, isn't it?
It's got to be kept
It's
that
nothing
way.
you don't brag about.
No.
Because a lot of people don't want to know that there's demons flying around or whatever, because that's the way they portray it, won't they?
It's not that. It's not the case of people don't want to know that there's demons flying around or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
The reason why it's so secretive is because of everything that's involved. The people are involved. You've got to protect the people that you're working with. You've got to protect the people where they live in the area and everything like that.
Yeah.
And that's why it's kept really, really quiet and tight, and it's just the type of work.
And not only that, I suppose once you've done this exorcism thing, these people want to move on with their life.
Of course
they
I
don't want
do.
to keep coming
Of course
back
I do.
Yeah.
Most people that I've sort of worked with on that scale, they've never wanted to get involved with the media, or it's never been a fame thing. It's always been hush hush. It's always been quiet. It's always been the church that's been involved first. So it's never been a case of that kind of publicity stunt.
Nigel says you have to be very respectful during exorcism and honour that.
Exactly.
Andy, it's me. I'm the demon person. I keep calling them demons, but they're not demons, are they? They're just portrayed that way.
It's low energy. Spirits that thrive on negative energy.
So, talking about weird and wonderful spirits, just briefly, we've got gatekeepers, haven't we? So just quickly, what are gatekeepers?
What are gatekeepers?
They are gatekeepers. But why are they there?
People call them gatekeepers.
Yeah,
they're not really gatekeepers. They're just guides, protective guides that protect you when you need protection.
Right. And talking about low energy spirits, what's the case with elementals? Do they exist? Are they? What now?
Elementals.
No.
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 That I do not believe in. I'm sorry.
Do you not believe in elementals?
No.
But people do. They believe in them.
I know people do, but it's my belief. It's my belief. Lots of people believe in fairies, elementals, and
I think that's what elementals are, like sprites and that sort of thing.
It's not my kettle of fish. I mean,
to me, these are examples of serious psychological conditions, not supernatural, so-called possessions. And Charlotte said, Andy, demons, bad bad, angels good, rubbish. It is all energies like us and can be good sometimes, naughty at other times, and bad at other times.
To me, these are examples of serious psychological conditions.
In some cases, that would be quite true,
in
wouldn't
some
it?
cases, yeah. What I will say is that before an exorcism is performed, they have to go through a rigorous, and I mean very, very rigorous procedure. And that's done by the church, and it's done by myself as well. I would never, ever perform an exorcism on somebody that I thought would have mental problems or anything. And I mean, you've seen the rigorous stuff that we ask when we do a house rescue.
Yes.
It's very, very...
Oh, yeah.
You know, it takes hours, you know.
Thorough.
But it's very, very thorough.
Well, it's about 10 pages of questions before we even start.
And it's not just that as well, but once the exorcism is performed, I don't leave it there. I'm always in contact with the person that I've performed it on, and the family and everything else. And you know, there is aftercare. Yeah. So there's none of this. Do it, leave it, and that's it. Finished.
There's always at least 6 months monitoring.
At least 6 months monitoring. You know, and that's always the case. So it's not a case of somebody who's got a mental illness or psychological problems, because that's not the case. Most of the exorcisms that I perform were on children, up to the age of 13, 14. You know, so it's something that does need to be looked at a lot more than you know.
Just a case of going in and doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same with rescue work. You know, you don't just go in and say, right, okay, it's obviously haunted, let's do something.
Yeah, I agree with Andy there. A person can fully believe they are possessed. But when you're dealing with very, very small children who have been affected in a certain way, that's unbeknown to, or hasn't been in any involvement whatsoever, that would give them any sort of belief system in spiritual energies or, you know, ghost, demons, whatever, then, you know, that's something else that you've got to look at, Andy. You know, there's a whole world out there that we've only just touched the tip of it, you know, and I don't confess to knowing everything. I just work with what I know.
So he's saying, a person can fully believe they're possessed, so an exorcism will work for them as it's part of their belief system. That's what he thinks.
I think that's the case with anything. If you believe something strongly enough,
of course it is. That's how you heal yourself.
Then it leads to these things.
We're all capable of healing ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's a belief system.
Why do people go to church?
There is a belief system.
Why do people?
I mean, put it this way. Put it this way. Okay, we don't know 100% that we're working with spiritual beings. We're working with.
No.
We don't know that. We're just taking on board what we're being told by our guides and by people that are working with us. So if my guide says yes, he's possessed by a spiritual energy, which I'm being told, that's 100%. Okay. That might not be a spiritual energy.
No.
Okay, but I've still got to perform what I've got to perform, whether I believe that or not, because I'm being told to do so. Okay. So we don't know what we're working with completely, 100%. Nobody does. No. Nobody does until it all comes to light, until it all fits together, until the jigsaw's solved. You know, there's that last piece of puzzle still missing out, the whole jigsaw puzzle that nobody knows about. You know, we as mediums or whatever we work in this field, we only know snippets of information, you know, and the longer we work in this field, the more we get to know. But there's so much out there that we just do not understand and we do not know about, and what's kept away from us. You know, it's unbelievable.
So we're basically working on trust.
We are.
Of course we are.
We are working on
trust. We have to trust. We have to trust our guides.
I've always said that
they're taking us in the right direction.
Well, you know yourself. I always say that it's down to trust. You have to trust the person that you're working with. You know, and without that trust, it would be a waste of time you're working with them.
And he says he don't accept that these energies can possess people like that. Nigel says it's how you honour your fellow human being.
Exactly. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and he also said that you'd need to see real evidence to accept it.
Yeah.
Which is impossible, Andy, because you cannot be present at an exorcism
unless you're involved
in it, or unless you've. There's certain things that you've got to undertake, you know, and one of the things in an exorcism, you have to have very, very strong people there. You have to have people who aren't negative. You have to have people who aren't ill. You've got to be a very, very strong person, very, very strong-willed. You know, any negativity from any people around that exorcism can also be possessed themselves. You know, you can come away, you know, carrying something yourself. So it's.
Andy says that None seem to be possessed to him.
No, you
Why
have
is
to,
it
no,
so
no, no. You have to read the bit above it.
All
so.
right, okay. I work today with people who have had all sorts of negative experiences. None seem to be possessed to him. Why is it so secret? Well, before we go to the secret bit, think about it.
Yeah, but he's not working with people that are possessed people.
No.
Yeah.
He's working with people with mental illness.
I know when people say possessed, they're thinking of the things like exorcism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, just out of curiosity, a possessed person, okay, if you don't believe in it, you've got somebody who may be in, I don't know, a schizophrenic stage, they're spitting, they're cussing, and God knows what else, right? And they've literally got the strength of 10 men, basically, right? When you see it on the films, they're coming out with harsh sort of... Pea soup? No, not pea soup. They're coming out with foreign languages and blaspheming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, a normal person can do this.
Yes.
Now, I could turn around and have 40 fits.
So, they're having a problem hearing you. Can you speak into the mic?
Yeah. Somebody
Sorry.
with schizophrenia, for instance, can have the same...
Is that better?
Can have the same sort of... you on?
I think I'm on, yeah. That's better. Would you say...
Somebody with schizophrenia can have the same symptoms as somebody that would be possessed. Now, taking into account that I work mainly with children, young children, as young as 5 or 6, all the way up to sort of 13, 14, and the rigorous testing that we have to go through on these children is unreal. It's not just a day of testing. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks to actually test these people. So we have to go through things like, are they mentally affected? Have they got mental health problems? We don't just look at the people who are possessed. We look at the other family members. We look at family history. We look at everything that's involved around this case, and it's a very, very lengthy procedure. We don't just go in and say, right, I'm just going to take this bad spirit out of you and that's it, job's done. It's not like that. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks. So it's not just a difference. It's not just a case of going in there and saying, he looks possessed because he's coming out with a foreign language, or he looks possessed because he's twisting his neck round 360 degrees, or whatever. That isn't the case. That isn't the case.
So Charlotte said, when you agree to channel our guide, in a way, you are being possessed, but with permission.
It's with permission,
This shows that it is to do with the intent of the entity, with whether it is good or bad. Ghost Rider says, would you say many people are wrongly diagnosed as mentally ill if they hear voices? He's put there. Sorry, that was Simply Joe. Was it? No.
That was Ghost Rider.
That was Ghost Rider. Simply Joe said you need evidence to believe. You need evidence to believe anything. I work investigating every weekend, and I'm still waiting for real evidence. You
want to come with me one night then?
But Andy says, how do you know the difference, Neil?
It's because this is one of the reasons why I became a physical medium, because I get so involved with the entity that's possessing that person. I talk to them, I react with them, I interact with them, I feel them, smell them, hear them, see them. That's the evidence that I look at. That's the evidence that I receive, the evidence that I can see, and everything else. So I know myself that's going on. Now, who's to say that I'm not schizophrenic? Who's to say I'm not got mental health problems because I talk to people in my head, or I see people that aren't really there, or who's to say that I'm not mentally ill? I'm not completely given up on that.
Your eyes are funny, you're having visions.
Exactly. So who's to say that I'm not schizophrenic or mentally ill in some way?
He goes on to say, are the people testing qualified, and if so, in what way?
I think the churches actually use their own psychologists.
The church have a number of procedures that they do that I'm not even brought in on. Before anything goes ahead. I mean, I'm called in at the last sort of
right at the end.
The last sort of procedures, because they obviously can't do the things that I do. But the procedures that they go through is huge. They have physicians, they have hypnotherapists, they have psychologists, counsellors, you name it. It's all involved in the church.
So there is a way then for somebody who's hearing voices.
Mm-hmm.
Can they be misdiagnosed, or is it a case of?
Of course they can.
No, they're skeptic.
Of course they can.
They're psychic.
I think there's a lot of cases that have completely gone unmissed.
Yeah.
And they've been diagnosed with some kind of mental health illness or psychosis or whatever. They've been misread. They've been put onto medication. Because they've been put onto medication, it's made them worse. It's given them more mental health problems.
Yeah.
And it's just an ever decreasing circle. You know,
Right.
they've just become ill and ill and ill.
So basically, what you're saying is, if a child comes up to you,
Yeah.
and says, for instance, Dad or Mum, I'm seeing this, I'm hearing this, and they don't believe, and then they take them to a hospital or doctors, and the doctor said, "Oh, this is silly. Perhaps it's an imaginary friend," and they carry on with it, and then obviously they lead them down the medical route.
Yeah.
Then that's not.
That's 9 times out of 10. That's what
how it
happens.
goes.
You know, you've got children out there that are getting diagnosed with ADHD. They're getting diagnosed with all kinds of mental health problems. My son, I mean, he's 7 now.
Yeah.
He sees, hears, you know, he's got everything that I've got, you know, and I'm sort of taking him under my wing with that. You know, he's got to a stage now where if my other son's babysitting and he tells him off, something will happen to my other son because he's told him off.
Yeah.
You know, so if he tells him off, then a cupboard door will bang or something will fall on the floor, or just to say, back off from him, you know, leave him alone. So.
Yeah.
So you know, if I thought for one moment that he had a mental health problem, then probably I would take him to the doctors. But he does exactly the way what I did when I was a child. You know, and lucky for me that, you know, my grandmother was a medium.
Yeah.
That I didn't get took to the doctors and get served all kinds of medication or whatever.
Right. Have we got any more there before we go?
Yeah, I've got a couple of bits there.
On
Recce, they've said you can tell if it's a low or high energy being. And things, and then choose whether you want to interact or not, depending on how comfortable you feel. That's what you do when you journey away. Charlotte said, we are all mental anyway. We have been bred to be slightly mental and unable to meet the full potentials in this world.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Recce, that's all nutters, in fact. Simply Joseph, speak for yourself. And he said, okay, I've done a little digging, and none of the professional bodies I know of are willing to say they have an involvement in this.
Exactly.
There you go then, Andy.
And that's why it's kept so secret.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much in there that we're not allowed to know, we're not allowed to speak about. You know, and that's why it's kept so secret.
Right, well, on that note, it's time for us to say
Bit of
goodbye.
fruit and nut.
Stop it, Sonny. You haven't got any. You haven't got any.
Oh, chocolate.
Helen.
Craving chocolate now. Thanks very much for that.
He'll be down to Asda on the way home. Right, anyway, well, that's about it.
That's fine, Andy. That's your own belief, and I'm not disrespecting that in any way, shape, or form. You know, some of the things that I've seen, I've got to accept it because it just wouldn't occur otherwise. So.
And Joe's got that tune in her head now.
Well, anyway, that's about it for tonight's show. We'd like to thank Neil for coming along once again. And you're coming back next week, aren't you, when we have Mr. Derek Akora on?
Our Degsy.
Our Degsy. We hope to see you soon, and until next time, from me and Steve, all we can say is keep the paranormal friendly. Good night and God bless. Thank you very much. Bye, and thank you to Alison for joining us.
Yes, see you all next week.
Every Wednesday night. This is where it's at.